dominated through CU.
Yeah, and not only that, you don't have to only look at the games itself, but the way that they won these games. It was one-sided games, 11 minutes, but the first game was, what, 10, and then the second game was 11 minutes. The last game was, they won the early game, they lost kind of the mid-game, but they brought it back like a boss, and it kind of felt like they're very commanding the entire tournament. So even though the Team Liquid Echo are the team that you would look at in this particular series to have the advantage, I think FCAP can really just bring it together. I think this is a total 50-50 between the two teams.
With that being said, we saw what happened yesterday and a lot of top reactions coming through from the casters as well as the players. So let's check out Pepsi's top reactions.
Bye-bye! Bye-bye! Tower lock.
They really gotta highlight Homeboy's key, huh? Like, they just gotta really show it. Make sure you see the name of it just getting just like that. But with that being said, looking at yesterday's reaction, we've heard the teams buy. We've heard it's bittersweet. Some people are happy, some people are not so happy.
I don't know why you always, point at me when you say not so happy, but yeah, definitely the thrill and the agony when it comes to the competitions, right? There is always going to be a team that gets knocked out, and unfortunately, those are the teams that we saw yesterday. And unfortunately, today as well, it's a Filipino battle. So maybe it'll be a bit more bitter than sweet to see this happen.
Yeah, I think it's bitter because you think that they will just get into the semifinals. Is the last lap for one of these teams, which you really want to see in the grand finals. Both of them are really good at the grand finals. At the same time, it's great because they kind of test each other. They're going to be showing us what they have prepared for ever since MPLPH Season 14 finals. And we know for sure that this is, for both of these teams, the bigger prize. In fact, they are really looking at this tournament not only because of how grand it is, but because, well, they have been very honest about it, the prize pool.
Let me just say, even being in top 8, at least in Malaysia, winning this, just being in the top 8, it's like you won MPL 4 times. That's how intense it is.
Top 8?
Yes. And with that, we got to look at our Aramco top 5 plays, because yesterday we got 8 games in total, so there's a lot that we can look at here. And I'm thinking, looking at Aramco top 5 plays, we're going to see some Julian as well. We're looking here at the first matchup between See You Soon going up against Falcons AB Brand.
Yeah, this was masterful, I feel like, for See You Soon, right? The fact that they were able to play towards a later stage, and I think it's the understanding of giving MP the King the space with the Angela.
How about the duel between Hades as well as Chibi? That series, first 3 games of the series was all about this intense assassin battle that, technically speaking, Chibi won, and then Hades brings it back in games 4 and 5, just playing the utility, completely surprising the mentality of Homeboys.
Oh yeah, trust me, I was able to talk to them and they were indeed surprised. They thought it was going to be all 5 games going for the assassin. Look at that. Udil, man.
Yeah. From the parking lot.
With the dawning light.
That was great. Xavier really has risen, and the final one here, this was also amazing, right? For both these teams, but honestly, from NIP Flash, Vanix. I got to talk to Jays after the game, and he said, Vanix, he's known as the inevitable in Singapore.
The inevitable.
Because it doesn't matter how shaky he looks in the start of the game, he's always going to have an impact in the game, and we saw that there. With
the that's probably the toughest top Aramco play that
for you
I've watched. Putting at #1 is nothing much, just destroying the crystal.
Yeah, just a kick onto Chibi so that he cannot defend or clear the waves.
I mean, again,
brutal.
This is how amazing the Mid-Season Cup 2024 has been, because I feel like a lot of people anticipated Homeboys to win that one, but NMB Flash really showed up. Let's check out the bracket to see how the entire tournament has been shaping up. And as you guys can see, right now we are at the semi-final stage where top 3 regions so far, at least for MSC, it is the Philippines, Malaysia as well as Singapore.
It's been 3 whole years since we last saw Singapore actually make it to the top 4. So I'm personally rooting for NIP Flash now. Looking at their run in the group stages as well, most people thought they wouldn't even make it past group stage. And now they find themselves up against one of the tournament favorites, tournament favorites, undefeated for what, 103 days?
At this point, it's 105, I believe. But now we got to look at our club championship ranking with the things that's going on in the MLBB scene. Even Selangor Red Giants and Ninjas in Pajamas, NIP, are up here in the standings being number 7. But look at Team Falcons as well as Team Liquid. 1,275 points for Team Falcons. Team Liquid, if they win this one and they knock out Falcons AP Brand, there's a chance for Liquid to jump up in the standings.
Oh, and it's very cool that we are getting club points now, and MLBB shares the same amount of points. Apparently, this is from Trex, by the way. So he did say that all esports titles are going to be treated equally. So
that's me.
W MLBB.
Speaking of W, we got to talk about the battle within the Seoul Vessel Skin Series. Amon, Vessel of Deceit, as well as Hanabi, Vessel of Rage, is now available. Make sure you guys grab them because they're only going to be available up until the 5th of August. So make sure you guys grab them quick because the first draw is 50% off every single day. And a permanent Seoul Vessel Series item is guaranteed in the first 10 draws. So make sure you guys join in now and get the skin as fast as possible. Speaking of which, Project Next Update is live. Discover the fresh excitement of equipment evolution and enjoy a revitalized, thrilling gameplay. Jump in now for a more dynamic and fun battle experience. Speaking of which, we are still going on because the Youth Fair is here with incredible bonuses and exciting events. Grab multiple permanent skins for free, just like Sylvana's Classroom Charm and his painted skin, Classroom Glam. More exciting events will be revealed, so make sure you guys watch out. Now we got to talk about both these teams here. Falcon AP Brand going up against TLPH. This is a revenge match for Falcons AP Brand because before, in the grand finals of MPL Philippines, it was a 4-0. And I'm pretty sure no one expected that.
Did you expect that?
No, absolutely not. I was wishing that we'll be going the distance, especially because you look at their upper bracket finals when it went all the way to a 5-game series. There was a comeback that Echo had to pull through. It was Falcons AP Brand actually being slated to have the better advantage, especially because Team Liquid Echo did not perform well in the group stages of MPLPH Season 14. So yeah, to answer your question, 4-0, not expected.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, you really got to put this into context. This is a GOAT race because looking at TLPH as well as Falcon AP Brand, we're looking at Flap TZ, we're looking at Carl, we're looking at Few. This will really solidify their argument of why they're the GOAT.
For sure. You know, 2 world champion titles for both. For all 3, actually. For Carl Tizzy in 2 different teams. So that's another stat that's very, very unique for him. I definitely want to talk a little bit about the style, though, for both these teams, because just listening to all the different pro players, a lot of the teams as well talking to me, it does seem like Falcons AP Brand are the favorites coming into this matchup, despite the 4-0 loss in the grand finals. Falcons AP Brand, I think for everybody watching as well, if you guys have been paying attention to the matches, it's been way more dominant. They've been way more clean. They've taken the games in much more of a dominant fashion. Meanwhile, for TLPH, it's definitely more like they're risk takers. They go for a lot of team fights that can get them a lead and can get them to win faster, but sometimes it doesn't pay off, and that gives an opportunity for the enemy team to come back and bite them.
But then again, it's very difficult to compare because in the group stages, even when we say that, practically speaking, Falcons AP Brand have the better, more dominant wins. Team Liquid Echo, it seems like they are also willing to kind of make some experiments, I would say, or maybe some unorthodox picks, like for example the Akai and as well as the Guinevere, which we thought is already out of meta, and you wouldn't imagine Carl TZ going back to those kinds of heroes, but they perform with that and they shift their focus onto Benny Cutie. So I don't want to cop out here, but it's very difficult to know who's got the advantage between these 2 teams.
I mean, let's talk about numbers here because Team Liquid Echo has 90% first blood in 10 games. That means 9 out of 10 times they're going to be the ones getting the first blood. And Falcons AP Brand has 78% first blood in 9 games. So 7 out of 9 games, they will be getting the first blood. And Falcons AP Brand, they have not dropped a game so far. So we're talking about aggression. First blood goes over to TLPH, but again, Falcon AP Brand has not dropped a single game.
I think it's all about mid control for TLPH. That's why they've been able to get a lot of the first bloods, and it's all about getting the prio in the mid lane. Just like most of the matches that we have seen, the games are all dependent on the trio mid, and this is something that TLPH can take advantage of, I feel, up against Falcon's AP Brand. Because, yes, Few is an amazing player. I think when it comes down to just pure macro and game IQ, he does have the edge over Sanji. But when it comes to pure mechanics, I gotta give it to Sanji all day, every day. And if they are able to capitalize on some of the micro mistakes that Few tends to, show in these tournaments, tends to show in these games, it'll be a great, great weakness point that TLPH can capitalize on.
Yeah, for sure. Now for Fnatic, why do I say Fnatic? Falcons, Falcons AP Bren. We know that they have been utilizing a lot of assassins on Galtisi, and they actually loved this patch. They are very open about the fact that they're very comfortable in the meta game that we have right now, because the assassins and Galtisi, before getting into Falcon's AP Bren, as a new player, was known as a pub stomper as the assassin.
And I think for me personally, Wolf, right, especially looking at this play from MP the King and See You Soon, this definitely highlights the little weakness that Falcon's AP Brand has, which is in a chaotic team fight. They're so clean, they're so disciplined, they're so good at the game that when it gets chaotic, when it doesn't go to what their plan or what they're expecting, it turns to a really scrappy team fight that an enemy team can actually capitalize on. And again, we saw that from See You Soon. MP the King took control of the fight, and I think that's also what we saw in the grand finals of MPL Philippines. That was what Liquid Echo were able to utilize. Just go for it, for the team fights, force these random team fights, and come out on top.
I feel like this is a shared weakness between all amazing teams where they have a set system. A, B, C, you move towards all of this. But the moment someone breaks that system, it almost like this is uncomfortable, so we have to do something else. But gentlemen, we gotta talk about coming up is gonna be the draft here as we're watching Falcons AP Brand as well as Team Liquid Echo entering the Amazon Arena. We gotta talk about the 3 most picked heroes, and the numbers might shock you. Maybe the picks not so much. Top 3 heroes: Roger, Charizla, as well as Valentina.
Okay, not a surprise.
But in terms of the number, I would say the Charizla as well as Valentina is around 54-56% pick rate.
Oh.
But the Roger, 70%.
And the first pick too.
So 70 and 50, like, that's a huge gap.
That's a massive gap.
Especially if you consider Rogers picked up either first in blue or first in red.
Yeah, but hold on, like we're moving forward now because we got to look at Dr. Sulaiman Al Habib upcoming match. And again, as we're talking about it, this is the only match for today is going to be Liquid Echo going up against Falcons AP Bren. And this time, do you guys feel like it will actually go the distance?
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. This is mainly because of the improvements of Falcons AP Bren. I'm right this time. And also because of the patch, I think we are going to see some different approach from the teams.
I agree.
Eve will be picked up eventually in this case. Lilia as well. All of those are Northox.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. As we can see, we're about to enter the stage.
Let's go.
That being said, we're going to throw it over to Marakino as well as the Wood Sandstorm.
I feel really good and I feel very happy that we win against Falcons because they're a really good team. I think Falcons AP Bren is really good right now compared to the MPL finals. We're really confident against them because we won against them in the finals and all of us are looking forward to face them.
We only have one chance and we do not have lower brackets. So we must give our 100%. I think Echo is not strong now because of the meta and we know how to beat them right now. So if we face them, we will beat them. My message to Sanford is play good tomorrow because I will beat you into pieces.
For 4 international MLBB tournaments, we witnessed Filipino teams gracing the grand finals.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the case for 2 MSCs and 2 M-Series World Championships.
And as we welcome the dawn of a new competitive landscape, fate decided to go a different way.
Because this time, the 2 Filipino representatives will face off in our semifinal, and only one will make it through to the grand finals.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ayuhasayo Datuasada,
welcome
to the Amazon Arena.
2 teams crowned as the world champion will now go head-to-head against each other for the only best-of-5 do-or-die match of the day.
Both teams dominated their respective groups and made it through to the knockout stage with an unblemished record. But things are about to change today here in the Amazon Arena because only one team will make it to the grand finals.
Introducing first, the Cavalry. En route to their journey here at Riyadh for MSC 2024 at the Esports World Cup, they proved that their rivals, the defending champions of the Philippines, can bleed. Now to strengthen their legacy, they must repeat history. Make some noise for Liquid Echo! This is Liquid Echo, Sanford, Carl Teasy, Sanji, JP, and Benny Cutie. Guided by Coach TikTok and Coach CJ, they returned to the stage to face their greatest challenge yet here at MSC 2024.
And on the opposing side, going against them in this semifinal, the Bees from the Hive, sporting a 100 game and match win rate coming into this bout. Can this team's be the key that will unlock the doors of vengeance? Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Falcons AP Brand! Bren, join us on the stage. Tutelage of Coach Ducky and Coach Treb. Flap Teasy, Kyle Teasy, Few, Ogwin, and Super Marco walk up on this stage and the Amazon Arena, claiming or attempting to claim the only title that has eluded them thus far.
And now they hold their key for the very last time, as later on they will hand it over to their opponent.
That's right, and that's only if they are defeated in this best of 5. You, boys and girls, will be fighting for your key and fighting for your tournament life. It is time to take your seats because the battle is about to begin in the land of dawn.
They will get to keep their key if they win this tournament, and they have a chance to secure at least $500 US and 500,000 US dollars, and to unlock the key for the MSC 2024 trophy with 600 points.
That's right, because they are competing not only for the MSC title, but also for the title of the world's best esports club. And every tournament will count over the course of these 8 weeks at the Esports World Cup, Mara.
And I can see them right now. They're about to start their ping test with the greatest gaming phone, which is Asus ROG, powered by Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 mobile platform.
That's right, the Asus ROG phone is the official gaming phone of MSC 2024.
And you know what? This is not the last for MLBB action. They're in for a treat because MLBB action will come your way after MSC 2024 for 11 regions, 12 teams for MWI.
That's right, because it is a celebration of female pro players as they are breaking barriers and redefining esports, and that will take place starting July 24th here at the Esports World Cup. But Mara, right now we are in the Amazon Arena. We have 2 Filipino representatives, 2 world champions taking on each other in a best of 5, and only one will make it through.
A lot of people thought these 2 teams will face each other in the grand finals, as they are the strongest region, 2 of the strongest teams. So we're in for a treat because now they're facing each other in the semis. I can't imagine how this match is gonna be.
Honestly, I mean, look, if it wasn't for you, they might have been able to face each other in the grand finals, but nonetheless, I'm excited to see what these teams can do. But I want to check if the audience is ready, if you wouldn't mind, Mara.
Let's check it out. All right, everybody. Let's see if you're ready. Pinas. One more time. Pinas lang. Pinas lang.
Well, they seem ready.
It sounds like the Amazon Arena is set. The players are ready. The crowd is ready. I want to hear them one more time. Pinas lang. Let's turn it over to the panel.
That's right. Panelists, analysts, take it away. It's your time to shine. Let's get this show on the road.
And on the road we are. Gentlemen, are you guys hyped?
Oh man, it feels like our hometown now, especially because they are really cheering and chanting Filipino words. They're cheering for both Filipino teams. They're loud.
I mean, Mirko,
Goodness.
are you hyped?
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, looking at the crowd there, it really does feel like, it's kind of a throwback to M5.
I want to get out. I want to get out of here and just watch there.
Yeah, it almost feels like hopefully we can do it there.
Here's the thing. We see the analysts is hyped. I'm hyped. Are you guys hyped? Who you guys got for this match? Is it going to be Falcons AP brand or Liquid Echo? Head on to stcplay.gg right now and lock in your predictions. Now, guys, we got to talk about these 2 teams. We're going to help out the audience here because here's the thing. A very big difference that happened between the grand finals and right now, and that's the patch. So we got to see which team has, I would say, a better meta with this patch up. So who you guys think got this one?
Whew. Difficult. Who's got the better?
Not difficult for me. I feel like it's Falcon AP brand.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
there you go. I
You answered your question then. Well, actually, if I were to choose, I feel I would want to be playing for Team Liquid Echo, just because, or at least be part of that team, because if you look at how they operate during the draft, it kind of feels like they are actually in a programming language. If you're IT or computer science, this if-else situation, like if this is being picked up, this is your answer. That's usually how I see Team Liquid Echo, and I have confirmed that they actually think like that because I was able to talk to Coach Tic Tac, and that means that it's not even like one-dimensional or whatsoever. It kind of feels like they're just playing the strongest hero that's most suited for any specific situation.
Yeah. I've got to agree with that. For Team Liquid Echo, it feels like, they have a lot of different ways to take the game, but it kind of stops in the jungle. As much as we want to see Carl Tizzy on the Assassins, as much as he was great on the Assassins, on the Ling as well in the group stages, he wasn't as great as Kyle Tizzy, right? And that's really what stops them. And on the fact that also Falcons AP Brand have Trevor, someone with, the team of Liquid Echo, who's been there for a long time as well. He definitely understands what Liquid Echo are thinking about, what they want to go for, and they can definitely punish Carl Tizzy because just based on the knockout stages, teams who go for the utility jungles, they don't do too well.
Yeah.
Fireflux is a great example of that. They had to transition into the Assassins, even going on to the Amon, which worked for them. But again, if you have to adapt on the fly, it's going to be really tough. Hopefully Liquid Echo prepared for that.
I love that we're watching the players here and we can still hear the crowd. That shows how hyped it is. Like at this point, I don't know what's going to happen for our grand finals. But again, did you guys hear what Mara, Kino, as well as Dode Sandstorm said? Winning this one means 500,000 US dollars. Like
500 G's.
Dude, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And
Life-changing.
They know it too. They know what's at stake here because not only are they fighting for their organization pride, for their own pride, but that prize pool money, game-changing, life-changing money that will probably set them up for a lot.
Let's talk about the EXP lane because we saw the video where Flap, again, one of the GOATs, is like, you know what? Sanford, prepare because I'm going to destroy you to bits. And with that, we're jumping straight into the drafting phase. Falcon AB Brand, blue side. Team Liquid Echo, red side. Falcons AB Brand batting out the Valentina, batting out the Boxia, and LTLPH batting out the Chip as well as the Harif.
The first two picks of FCAP already reveals to me that they want to go Assassin. Baksha out-farms Assassins typically. Early game is difficult to play against. Of course, if you get through the early game, you have very strong scaling with the Assassins. But yeah, Valentin as well as Baksha, they're both anti-Assassins.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier, right? I think for Falcons AP Brand, they understand that they have a massive advantage when it comes to the hero pool in the jungle. So they want to try to utilize that now by banning some of the picks from Carl Tizzy, taking away the Baksha, because right now it does feel like for utility jungles, it's really just Baksha.
Yep. It's really just Baksha at this point. Maybe sometimes you pick up Akai, which is, TLPH likes to pick up, but that is going to be one of their deep pocket picks. It's going to be the Arlot, very natural ban. FCAP might be eyeing for a Roger here. There's the Loi ban. So Roger is the best pickup. Then maybe TLPH just goes back to the Teresa as well as the Moskov.
Okay. I think for the first pick, though, the fact that the Roger, 70% win rate, LaFell, you said it was 70%.
Actually, it was 70% pick rate. I feel like the win rate is actually a bit higher.
Then 70?
Yeah.
Huh. The fact that it's so good, it's so good as a flex pick. It's a great hero in both jungle and gold lane. I think equally as good right now. We've seen so many different players play it in different roles. And it's so far worked out so well in the knockout stages. So not strange to see that Roger first pick for Falcons AP Brand.
I believe this could be Moskov Edith or Moskov Teresa. I would say, though, if you're looking at a Moskov, you want to get the Edith to go with it. There it is. Right? Yeah.
Wolf doing wolf things as usual, I really like the Moskov pick. I think a lot of people will be kind of like pushed away from the Moskov pick in the first phase after seeing the Roger. But knowing that the Roger is such a good flex pick, you really got to get your hands on the Moskov because for Falcons AP Brand, there's nothing stopping them from going Roger and then Moskov later to deny that pick away. But now we get it revealed. Roger's going gold. It's a Ling pick and the Terizla.
That's right.
Best hero in the XP when it comes to zero resource. You don't need resources on this guy.
Exactly. So, good answer. Obviously, we have revealed that this Roger is going to the gold lane. You have the Ling. Now, for TLPH, typically they answered this with Julian, but now we have seen in the group stages, the pocket pick was the Akai. I believe that if they pick up the Moskov, the typical answer for TLPH to go with it is a utility jungler because you don't want to take away the farm from the Moskov, especially because Moskov is a split push type of hero as well. For example, the Lord Dance. Imagine the Lord Dance, you're just going to be using the SOD.
Yeah, and right now, honestly, I gotta ask the casters here. What do you guys think of the first three picks for Falcons AB Brand as well as TLPH?
Honestly, I wasn't expecting it, LaFell. Echo taking a more passive stance for now. In the meantime, hopefully they have something that's going to scale on top of that Moskov as a secondary insurance.
I'm surprised that Liquid Echo had to revert to the Akai this early. I'm not so sure if FCAP expected this, if this is what Coach Trevor and Coach Ducky wanted.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised that the Akai has been picked quite early as well. And now we're looking at the bans here, Wolf. What do you feel about the Angela as well as the Fireman's ban for TLPH?
Yeah, Moscow, Angela Ling is very scary, so you don't want to give that for sure. But it seems like the Faramis is a a few special that actually provides them a lot of not really sustain, but a lot of ways to really dive into the backlines. Imagine the Faramis Turista with the Roger. I think you're always gonna be going into the backlines with that, so that's probably why they banned it. Without the Yuzhong, you usually go for a Paquito now for TLPH. But they go far side, so okay, so it's pretty standard.
I mean, like, keeping the Edith still a flex, can go to Rome, can go to the EXP.
Right.
For now, Falcons, AP brand, they're missing their mid. Potentially missing their roamer as well.
Yeah, I think the Farsa pick is great here. You know, they've already banned out the Faramis, the Angela, so 2 mid laners away from Few. And we did say earlier as well, before the draft even started, that you want to try to maximize the potential you have in the mid lane on Sanji. Force Few on a hero that can make a mistake. You try to capitalize on that here in the draft. Could be.
Yeah. And right now, honestly, casters watching this draft live, seeing this Farsa pick, Falcons AP Brand, what do they need to do to respond?
Well, I think that Falcons AP Brand, they've got enough ways to actually start taking out the Feathered Airstrike. Maybe a second insurance policy on top of that is going to be great. Like a minute. Oh, yep, there's the Minotaur as well. Hopefully, we do get some damage.
Julian.
Mid-Julian?
Yep, a few special.
Oh my goodness, mid-Julian. So now, Wolf, seeing this draft.
Yep.
What else are the answers? I mean, like, this Julian is a surprise.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's Paquito. We expect it. I think for FCAP, they want to dive. For TLPH, they just want to go for Protect 1 around this Moskov.
Thank you very much to both our analysts, Mirko as well as Wolf. You guys have done an amazing job. And with that being said, we're throwing over to our casters for the first game of the semifinals. Casters, take it away.
Decisive action is required this game. Similar to LaFell's hair, they must decide whether to stay straight or throw a curl. This is going to be a best of 5 of a lifetime here. Today, it's going to be me getting Kyun as well as Leo at the desk to keep you guys company for this match.
At your service, we'll be bringing you the starter to what could be a grand finals caliber matchup. I think everyone in the Amazon Arena is expecting that much. Everyone watching around the world. And talking about decisive action, I like how neither team had to take their time with the draft. I think they all knew what was coming even before the opponent got the pick.
They were blitzing through it, right? That's what we want to see here. And similar as we get into the land of Dawn, players are loaded up. It's going to be Falcons AP Brand on the blue side up against Liquid Echo on red.
It's been a while since we've seen Few on this Julian. A lot of the Julians in MSC, from the group stage to the knockouts now, have been in the jungle, and they've been good. And now I want to see how a melee ranged mid might work, because look, they sent him home early.
Yep, I think, you know, a lot of it comes with a bit of sacrifice. Yes, you have some good CC, you're a big toolbox as a mid laner, but more importantly, in the earlier stages, you're not going to have a lot of control over that mid lane.
Yep. And that's trouble for Kyle TZ and Ogwin. Look at that. Kyle TZ struggling to get the farm up, going quickly, going from the purple down to that small camp all the way, while again, Ogwin sent home too. I think they're just taking shifts.
Yep, I mean, that's the beauty of it all, right? I mean, if Few dies here, then it's going to be a lot of trouble for the rest of the team. I'm expecting Liquid to try and play around that priority, so that's why we see that the side laners from FCAP being very, very aggressive whenever Kyle is nearby.
Yep, Kyle here just taking that crab, checking if Benny Cutie is free for the taken. JP watching out for the flank. All right, that's the gold lane situation. I think Marco's doing well. Up top, how about that? Flap versus Sanji. Sanford, rather.
Yeah, this is going to be a little interesting, right? Because Sanford, especially when you're Paquito into Terizla, generally Terizla can control this lane clear much faster than you in the earlier stages of the game. And then once you start rolling around mid, it's a bit of a toss-up, right? It's all off of that very first turtle, who's walking away with more gold at the end of it.
Now it's spawning in just a few seconds. Kyle TZ can make his way there. That is Carl TZ as well, making a beeline, rushing his way with Sanji right next to him. And I think Few is trying to get to level 4. Not that he needs it, but I think that just the scaling of his skills will help.
Oh, absolutely, right? I mean, he needs to make sure that Flap TZ is also, like, in control of this lane. More importantly, at least they do deny this.
Kyle is attempting Grand Theft Purple. He does get it, trading out for the turtle. Carl TZ secures. Ogwin at less than half health. That's a non-starter. Neither team drawing first blood just yet.
I'm thinking whether Carl actually wants to go for the invade, but it looks like they're not going to do it. That's going to be one potential camp that they could fight later down the line. But at the same time, right, both Ogwin and as well as Few making sure that they're sticking together because, again, not a lot of wave clear in the mid lane, allowing TLPH to make that first rotation.
And a lot of those rotations are ending up in bottom. Whether you like it or not, there's a brewing fight there. There has been for the past couple of minutes. It's just neither team are looking to engage. JP taking the long bush. I think Ogwin is all the more aware. Neither want to pull the trigger first. Oh, here we go. Carl TZ inside FCap's jungle. Kyle goes ahead, pulls the retry, and he's swinging away. They both let go. Oh, here comes Flap TZ. Jumping in with the penalty zone. Tempest up, blades up. Kyle TZ, heavy spin, trying to survive. Kyle TZ at a third of his health as well. Ooh. Kyle TZ barely standing. Either of my kids draw first blood.
It's unfortunate. Sanford, JP, and Sanji were trying to figure out where exactly he's going to exit through the jungle. And that's the meaning of having priority. I mean, great job on Kyle TZ winning out on that red tree, allowing him to extend the timer for how long that purple buff is going to stick on him. Liquid Echo have to play a little slower because Kyle, he's a menace. Look at him.
JP missing the combo as Kyle TZ just dancing on through, looking to take this little wanderer. Ends up spending retribution. Few very low. Sanji with the feather strike. JP popping the primordial wrath. No one home. Liquid Echo struggling to find any conversions here 4 minutes in.
And even for Super Marco, he's honestly doing a really good job trading against Benny QT down in this lane. We'll double check on how much gold has been distributed because we did see a couple of river crabs going over to Benny's side. Now, 7 seconds left, right? Next turtle is going to start spawning. I think Liquid Echo really need to think about how exactly they're going to attack the map. They can't just focus on Kyle. And yes, you want to be able to relieve pressure from Benny QT, but sacrifices need to be made.
All right. Luckily, it was Liquid Echo who secured the first turtle. So they have that economic advantage, and that's what keeps this gold lead relatively close. Falcons AP Bren barely about 600, 800 ahead. Sanford catches a face full of a Fuse combo, and Flap TZ and Ogwin pulling turtle over their side. 1v1 between Few and Sanford, putting Sanford about a third of his health. Oh, wow. Flap TZ acting as the enforcer, keeping Carl TZ at bay.
They're going to be rotating around here. Oh, even Feather Airstrike commitment?
That's a huge skill spent by Sanji. Oh. We know in Fury forces Sanji to flicker back out. Kyle TZ secures the turtle. Coming in, jumping through the walls. Carl takes it out on Ogwin. That's one down for Falcons AP Bren. Now Sanford looking to knock out the Filipino cannon. In comes JP, the flicker out from Flap. Few still dueling with JP. In comes the kill. That's 2 down for Falcons AP Bren. JP still up. Kyle TZ takes him out. Few takes out Sanford. Huge trades, delayed wins for the Falcons, but Liquid Echo left reeling.
Woo, boy, what a trade. What an extended fight this is. And it's not over yet.
Tempest ablaze. No. They know his flicker was spent.
They calculated every moment. These battle spells are such a big indicator of who they want to punish, right? You overextend, you want to keep up with them. You want to make sure that they're always creeping on their leads. Let's look at this replay one more time, right? Because after the Minoan Fury, this is starting to look like an awkward situation. Sanford's realizing, hold on, we got to wait for Few to start throwing out those abilities. Once this Julian doesn't have anything left, that's when we go in.
Falcons AP Bren really made the most of the few bodies they had. If I'm not mistaken, Liquid Echo, for the most part of that short, maybe 30, 40-second engagement, had the numbers advantage.
They did, but let's pull it back for a second, because now that we're looking at the goal, we can see the real economic difference. Hold up, wow, okay. Trying to dive Super Marco like that. Hey, the bulletproof vest still on.
Yep. Has yet to die, but also has yet to take any kills. For the past 6.5 minutes, Gold Lane has been relatively mum. Now, checking on the items here, that is just 200 between Benny Cutie and Super Marco.
Well, considering everything, that's actually not too bad. The biggest lead that we are seeing is between the... Oh, boy.
40. Dodges it. Still alive. Gets a knockout punch.
Oh,
Kyle
no.
TZ's down. Sanford gets the KO. Outplaying Kyle TZ.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. He was stutter stepping in the wrong directions, thinking that, like, hopefully, am I still on the wall? Wait.
Few catches a couple of volleys from Sanji's feathered airstrike, lets him go. Now the turtle fight.
Yep, they're going to have to take their time here. We're still waiting for that Minoan Fury. Oh!
The onward by JP, forced to use a Primal Wrath. Flap TZ, hammering away Benny Cutie, hitting that turtle to secure by Liquid Echo. Carl TZ with a heavy spin.
It's great. It's looking so good for now, but they back away. Now, with Carl TZ, he's timing. Oh!
Oh, Sanford! Oh! Dashing through the I-frame, keeping him up. And now Kyle TZ looking for the punish. Tempest a place in the sky. Finally. Kyle TZ gets 1 over 40.
I'm telling you, this game is just taking your breath away, brother. This is one of those where every single crumb is going to be fought for. And so far, Kyle TZ having the biggest lead in the game. Before we get into our next fight, this tier 1 should fall, and hopefully TLPH, they back off. They've already expanded so many resources.
Multiple wins for Liquid Echo down bottom. Forced the flicker out of Super Marco. Took the tier 1 anyways. And here's another look at that 1v1.
Oh, so beautiful, right? Like Sanford, he's thinking about the many different angles that he can go through. But the worst part about it is that if you have iframes, it's hard to land the heavy left hand to give you that extra shield. He would have loved the extra movement speed, but without that shield, he just pops.
Yep, couldn't have his cake and eat it too. He can only really move out of the way or get the shield and then maybe fight a little bit more to get some backup or maybe even kill the Ling. But now, oh no, view! The iframe out of the dash! Survives that 2v1. Now in comes Kyle TZ again. How about it? Kyle versus 40. Chapter 3. They're backing out.
All right. The trilogy isn't done just yet. Kyle might still go for this, but I think for the most part, Sanji has got him covered.
Ooh, looking to burst down that Farsa, but no, Kyle's just gonna end up taking tier 1.
Yeah, like Kyle he's so strong right now. He's so far ahead of the game in comparison to Carl TZ, but it's all about decisive action, like I said at the very beginning of the game, right? Despite Liquid Echo, oh, we're losing out on a couple of trades. The gold lead isn't too far. They've gotten 2 turtles. They're basically trading 1 for 1 when it comes down to turns. And even during the items, right, we now are seeing Liquid Echo putting respect on FCAP's name. I'm seeing, at the very least, making sure that they've got Feather already. Oh, wait, sorry, not even Feather. Sorry, Bloodwings coming in from Sanji to keep himself alive.
Yep, and going between the low econ heroes, Frederick was right. He mentioned that Terizla, despite being relatively low gains. Oh no! JP come in, the flicker combo. Feather strike from Sanji. They cancel through. Down goes Benny Cutie. Marco gets his head. Sanji down as well. Kaldizi diving into the back line, finding him. 40 looking to flank him as well. Finds no one. Now he's the hunted. Ogwin healing them up. 40 says let's regroup. This is not a good fight to take. And that leaves Kaldizi's purple up for them to savor. What a snap!
That's what you need to see. Decisive action time and time again. And it looks like Falcons AP Bread, they're also looking at least looking for a timing on these waves. Before that Lord spawns, we need to start taking them out.
And looks like Falcons AP Bread looking to blitz it. 40 here at a third of his health. JP in the same situation. Oh wow, 3 big bodies put up between the major objective and Falcons AP Bren. Carl TZ can still get this. The penalty zone coming in. The SOD, no one home. JP taken out. Flap TZ traded for. That's another one. Super Marco taken out by Kyle TZ. And there's a big knock-up. I mean, no one Fury. Sanford's down. 3 for 2. But the major objective scored by Falcons AP Bren. All this while, Benny was just working up top.
He's just farming. He's just getting that compound interest when you leave him alone in a lane, man. You can hear the money just dropping on the floor. Next tower falls. That's not too bad. But now the mid-tier 1 falls for Liquid Echo, and that's where all the problems are going to start beginning, right? Invades are going to be more prominent for Kyle TZ, even honestly with this with this considerable lead, 9,000 gold on him alone. But when we look at the damage dealt, you can see that Sanji, again, with less items, less econ, less gold, is still having some relevant numbers.
Which is the allegory of this whole situation. Liquid Echo, the more aggressive team. If you try to take out Sanji, you still have Benny Cutie and Sanford to deal with. That's not a clear go at a team fight because there's so many damage sources for Liquid Echo. So with that said, Falcons EP Brent are playing the map. A huge push up top, in mid, down bottom. Kyle TZ did leave that there. Now Carl TZ. He has a big question to answer, like, who do I hit with a heavy spin? He's only been using it to disperse, really.
Pretty much. I think he's been also just holding it for as long as possible during these turtle fights as well. I mean even the Lord fight, he basically wasn't even there, so I can't even say just yet. But now, with the Guardian's helmet, that's going to keep him alive a little bit longer. However, Falcons AP Brent, at this point of time, right, after the Lord push, really good punish, right? You found 2 kills, you got the Lord, but now you've gotten every single outer turret. You can see now there's a much clearer lead for Falcons AP Brent. 5,000 gold, now looking to extend it to at least 6 or 7 if they don't lose the next fight.
Yep, the biggest so far in this 12-minute bout. Now the purple in jeopardy for Liquid Echo. Are they going to try to save this for them? Ogwin coming in. through the line of fire, does survive with a motivation roar, and Falcons AP Bren just going to be happy with playing footsies.
I think at this point in time, that motivation roar, especially, oh, yeah, he's already got the flash as well as the favor. He's going to be topping up his teammates really, really easily, allowing Falcons AP Bren to continuously go back to the fight.
And himself, too. He has the Oracle. So he can take maybe a few hits, maybe a few volleys from Sanji's Feathered Airstrike, and still be there for that delayed Minoan Fury. I think that's been a key in their success so far, by pulling the trigger very, very late.
Oh, speaking of pulling the trigger here, that's going to be a penalty zone gone.
No one home. Hits the buff barely. I wonder what Flapteezy was thinking.
I think Flapteezy was like, if I happen to clip him, we go. If nothing, we just back away. There's a lot of disengage mechanics.
Yeah, which makes sense. If that was an all-in, he would have done the animation cancel flicker, because it's still up. So maybe he was just baiting something out from Liquid Echo. The Cavalry did not bite.
I mean, they got to tickle him somehow, right? Especially when you're going for these coin flips. This is a relatively safe coin flip.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, right? Just to get a little bit of a and get a reaction out of them. But still, stone cold from the side of Liquid Echo. If there's any momentum that they have to generate, it's first figuring out a way to lock Kyle TZ down and then bait Super Marco in. All of this on condition, though. Ogwin and Flapteezy have just been absolute brick walls.
Lord Dance already upon us. Carl TZ and JP showing themselves. The rest of Liquid Echo making themselves scarce. Ogwin spots a couple more. Carl TZ working on his purple, and JP holding his ground here at the Y brush.
They're going to take their time with this again. This is the calm before the storm. The waves are pushing, and it's not in the favor of Liquid Echo. They've got to do their housekeeping while Falcons continue to somewhat play this dance. They don't want to overextend here walking into that Y brush, but now that they know where Call TZ is, that's a lot of relief.
That's right. I wonder if they know where Sanji is too, and Benny Cutie. Sanford just barely making his way to the fight. Ogwin catches a few hits. The Sanji already spent up. Tempts the blades up. Down goes the Farsa. Minoan Fury to the back line. Benny Cutie spearing away for his life. Kyle TZ gonna be kiting through. Few catches Sanford. Puts him down to less than half health. Same situation for JP. JP coming in. Earth Shatter and onward. No one home. They let go of the conceal by JP. Gonna try to relocate. Caught by Few. Flickering back. Ho! Caught in, and there's a jump by Marco. Gets caught into the wall. They need to kite through. In comes the penalty zone.
He's hit hard, and now they're jumping forward to Marco on Sanford.
Oh, he finds one and another. 2 free kills for Falcons AP Bren. Kyle TZ in trouble. Not before he takes out Kyle TZ. TZ's on the ground. JP and Sanji, the only ones left. They're gonna crack right through. The inhibitor of the base is exposed.
15 minutes into this game, and the Crystal is under threat.
Oh, Sanji gonna throw them out. Can he? There's a wave. The Minoan Fury spent in. They gotta respect the firepower. There's no wave in mid.
I mean, 13 seconds on Benny Cutie and Sanford. Can he hold? He's gonna try. Penalty zone's out.
They force it through. They're gonna force it through. The brute force damage of Falcons AP Bren. Draw first blood in this best of 5.
What a game here to kick things off between these two Filipino giants here. Well done. GG, well played. That's game 1 point and 1 point for Falcons AP Bren.
This is Falcons AP Bren's first victory over Liquid Echo in months. They couldn't do it in Manila, but here they did it in Riyadh.
I mean, it's got to feel good for now.
And this is just the start.
This is just the start, but it goes to show a lot of their movements from TLPH are kind of telegraphed. And Falcons AP Bren, they're taking the metagame one step up. They're getting in their heads.
I'm glad that the Cavalry and the Hive here in the Amazon Arena are having fun. That much I know.
Well, with that being said, let our analyst break it down for you. LaFell, take it away.
What a first game of the match. What do you guys think about this game?
Oh man, I think it started all the way in the draft. The fact that they, Falcons AP Bren, were able to set up for Kyle TZ. This is something that we were already talking about. You know, the pattern that Falcons AP Bren definitely want to capitalize on is the fact that Kyle TZ can't really play a lot of the assassins that well, and aren't maybe not play the assassins well, but not comfortable as he is on the Akai, on the Baksha. The fact that they banned out the Baksha, forcing him on the Akai pick, like Wolf mentioned, that's the only utility jungle that Liquid Echo have been able to utilize in this tournament. Akai is a bad matchup against the Ling. Not in terms of the fighting, but in terms of the farming. Ling out-farmed him so hard in the game, all the way from the start as well. You can always see that Kyle TZ was ahead, and he was able to utilize that together with its insane mobility, the kit that you have, to get more leads across the map.
Yep. And as me and Midnight would say, this is real Mobile Legends. That's what you're seeing. But I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I think when you look at these two teams that kind of know each other so much,
Yeah.
I believe that you kind of see some weird interactions between the two teams. Like for this one, you can never imagine when they will try to fight. You will kind of can guess, but these two teams know each other so much in a way that they know that they can fight and cannot fight at certain points in the match, and they are also trying to outplay each other. You can see that they're always one step ahead of what the other what their opponents think, and then they will one-up it. Like for example, the Lord Dances, which we will see later on.
Yeah. The thing that I like about Falcons AB Bren is that they make it easy for Kyle. I mean, Kyle's job is like, okay, you farm up, you get your items, and then when we say go in, you go in. Flap TZ has been getting these amazing engages, and not just Flap. Honestly, even Few has found his own moments as well.
Few was amazing in this game, by the way, and that's something that we expected Team Liquid Echo to try to capitalize, which is that mid prio. And the fact that they picked up the first up, for me at least, I wasn't really a big fan of that pick, especially after banning the Feramis and the Angela. Yeah. I thought, especially now considering they already have the Akai, they were set up for the Sanford Paquito last pick. I thought it was going to be a Lilia pick there, just to ensure mid prio. In the skirmishes, it does get a little, hard up against the Ling when he jumps to you. You can't really push the blooms down, but still, for mid prio, they gave Few so much room, too much room for him to maneuver around the map. And as an assassin, so mobile, you get so many more advantages. And you can see he was 1v1ing Sanford, I think, very early on, second turtle onwards.
Yeah, it's been proven that this Kyle TZ Ling should not be let through it. I think apart from the fact that maybe the Akai worked against other teams' Ling, but against Kyle TZ, it just can't work. The Link Tourist is such a strong opening coming out from Falcon Safety Brain, and they utilize it in a perfect manner. So you saw that in the first turtle, they didn't even attempt to take the turtle. What Falcon Safety Brain did was to get and invade the opposing purple buff. So the focus is already there. You know that this Kyle TZ Link is gonna farm. They know that the Akai thrives against the Link if they actually have contact.
Exactly.
But they deny them of that.
Just to take some point coming in from what Mirko says, that the farming speed, the Link's mobility, making it so that the Link can farm faster than the Akai. I feel like the bigger issue here is that Falcons AB Brand, they're forcing this Akai pick. I mean, let's say the Link gets banned. There's still Hayabusa. Nolan hasn't been winning a lot of games, but I feel like Kyle can do it. And I feel like he has a lot more options that as long as they force Carl TZ on his Akai, either way, Kyle will have an amazing time farming.
Jungle is the biggest issue right now for Liquid Echo, and that's something that they definitely need to, fix. We have seen Liquid Echo do this before, adjust mid-game, but it's going to be very, very hard when it is a hero pool issue. For Carl, he's very, very comfortable on these utility jungles so that he can actually enable Sanford in the side lane, Benny in the side lane. But now it's all about being the #1 guy on your team as a jungler. You need to be prio.
I feel like at this moment in the analyst time, we have to say that it's not that Carl can't play the assassins. He's shown in MSC itself.
Absolutely.
He can. It's just that even in interviews and everything, it's like, if you give me A or B, utility or the assassins, I'm a utility kind of guy at this point. It's about comfort.
And it's more about him wanting to win. I think that the idea of winning matters more to him than it is like, showing off for the assassins. He knows that he can win with the assassins, but he knows that he has the team has a much better time at winning with the utility junglers. That's why he picks up the Baksha, the Akai, and then the Guinevere, right? So I'm sure that there will be an assassin pick from Carl TZ in this particular series, but if the situation calls for it, he will 100% go to utility first.
Yeah, I think the utility definitely is a bit stronger. If they can ensure a Baksha pick, I think still it's a very, very good pick for Team Liquid Echo. But the fact that they were able also to make so many of those outplays happen from the side lanes, I think at this point, maybe they need to focus more on the individual side lanes over the neutral objectives if the strong points are the side lanes.
I mean, here's the thing, Wolf. During the highlights just now, you talked about the Lord Dance, right? So with the help of Bob, can you show us what you're talking about?
Yeah, this is Bob. And the Lord is so different now in a way that it's you really have to think about it. So I'm going to be looking at the first Lord, which was, I think, the most instrumental Lord in the game. And you would notice that it is actually Benny Cutie as well as Sanji who died in this specific skirmish, which means that there is a little bit of advantage for Falcon City Red. However, the ultimates are not available. Look at the ultimates only available for Super Marco, which is practically a non-ultimate because that's Roger. But what they did was to clear the mid, and then Sanford shows himself. Now, Flap as well as Few kind of showed that they wanted to go to the Lord, but Few was actually
Did you
left. You can see
did you notice
in here that
the
he held this
their
particular
draft?
bush. So please take your put your attention on that bush. Few will stay there, and he is going to poke. And mind you, the entirety of there you go. That's the poke
Both teams
for
basically,
Sanford from Few.
and on
His
the
intent was
rotation
actually
side.
not to kill Sanford, because he cannot one-shot Sanford, but he still went in for the combo
So
because, well, that is a Julian, and at the same time,
what
you don't have proper
what I
positioning.
want
And
to say
then
is,
you can see
if you
here that the
notice,
moment JP
both
showed
sides have
himself,
like
he was actually poked by
kind of
3 or
easy
actually 4
on
members
80
if you're gonna
Bren
count Super Marco. So it kind of
using
felt like,
assassins
despite
on
not
jungle,
having the
right?
ultimates,
But
while
on
TLPH has
on
all of their
Echo side,
ultimates intact, FCAP just
Charl
focus on
using
poking the opponent
AVP
members
into
of
jungle.
TLPH, and then they will
But
eventually take
on
this part of the map
XP,
wherein Kautiz is
kind of
now being
different.
kept. He can never enter through the zone, through the box of FCAP, and it's kind of a lore
Right?
dance wherein it's outside
A
actually of the lore pit.
tanky one
Even
on
before you
XP,
get
but
into the lore pit, you already win points,
on
and that meant that they were forced to use the Edit ultimate, the Farsa ultimate.
on
It was
Echo side
disastrous. Flap TZ lands a
is
massive ultimate.
Paquito.
At that point, it was already over. It was already checkmate from FCAP.
It's really the new version of
So
the dance, right, that we're seeing. And I'm glad
based
you brought
on
that
their
up because
draft,
the little pokes that
if
happened
if
there
the
was
jungle
the
is
reason they were able to take
if
him
the
out of the
jungle
fight and
is
ultimately win
damage
it.
based,
Because, again, with all the
the
ultimates being
XP
up, I was
should
about to bring
be
up this topic
on
that Liquid
tanky
Echo,
side,
they're one of the teams, or if all, I would say, the only team in the world that can
and
actually
then
fight with lower HP bars,
kind of vice
with
versa.
less resources, and still
Yeah.
come out on top. So any little victory you can find through the poke, staying in the bush, like you said, a lot of these feints happening is what you guys can expect from Falcons AP Brand. That's
And
their
then on
adjustment
the
to
rotation,
after their loss 4-0 in MPLPH Grand
no
Finals.
So
one
basically what we saw
no
just now,
one's
just
going
talk about the
no one's
evolution of the
going
lore dance,
on
where before this, you're kind of
Turtle
baiting,
if
you're
they are
inviting
not
the opposing
level
team to
4,
actually come into your box, into
and
your
how they
circle,
do
so that you
how
have
they do
the
that,
better circle of influence. But
right?
now it's just like,
Kinda
this is
kinda messy
crowded
at first,
place,
but if
don't
you
enter.
notice,
Right, so I feel like that's the new evolution
um,
of how to do lore dance.
Yeah.
We're starting it.
they're
Anyone wants to come in, we're gonna poke you down
both
so low
teams
that you can't contest in the first place.
both
Yeah,
teams
and they
roamer
designed it in a way
is
that,
on
I
the
mean,
mid
FCAP designed it
side,
in a way that there's not
middle lane,
much
and then
resources that they're going to be using. In fact, they didn't have their ultimates, right?
their mage is on
Obviously,
the
the Julian
XP
is a Julian.
side.
That's technically
So
a non-ultimate because it refreshes
Yeah.
those
every 12 or 10 seconds in the mid
those
game.
two
You
lanes
have your
will
combo up, and but then again, a Julian is not a confirmed kill at the mid game,
so
especially from the mid lane. So that
those
was
two
just a
heroes,
poke at
or
the end.
those
I mean,
two
with that being
lanes
said, we're gonna continue our
uh
conversation where we're talking about
could
our
level up
Sony MVP. It's
easily.
gonna be Kyle Teasy on that lane. So let's talk about position 1 here. How does the jungle evolve, and
Kinda
why
high
is it
right
so good in
now.
this game?
Well, firstly, for the jungle, the fact that the assassins,
Oh,
has been so
so
much prio
what
is
I mean
because you're
is
so mobile on the map. The
they
gold issue that we have
roamer
before,
and
where,
mid
gold
lane
laners
should
just
be
get
level
way more
4
gold, XP laners get way more XP. You've
before
kind of been placed in a position of utility.
turtle
Now
spawn.
it's way different already. Just with the patch alone, considering how many fights there's going to be on the map, the fact
Yeah,
that Ling, you
if
are
I'm right,
able to make those
this
decisions on the go. Whether
based
you want to
on
go for fight in
turtle
the early
timer,
game,
it
whether you
should
want to go
be
for farm,
around
you have so
25
many ways to
seconds. So
decide.
25
And like you
seconds.
said, first turtle, Akai, that's the only strong point for the Akai up against Ling, is the fact that Akai will win in the first neutral objective
Mid
battle
lane
when it comes
should
down to
go
level 4, level
to
4.
XP
But after that,
lane,
if Kyle TZ understands
help
how
the
to
XP
just
to
buffer
clear
that, utilize that as an
to
advantage,
clear
and that's what he
minions
did. He
faster,
utilized
and
the
then
patch points
the
mobility
and
to
then
go and
the
clear. So, even with the
roamer
turtle, he went
should
even.
clear the mid lane
And
all by
everybody from
himself.
FCAP just tries to put the side laners and whoever they see in the lane low, and then KTC just cleans it up. I think that was a trend.
That's
Which
the
is,
rotation I
it
want.
looks very easy, and
I
it's
want
very easy to
the
say.
guys
That
to
should
know,
be the playstyle of the lane.
but it's
And
kind
I
of
think
hard
that
for
if
me
you're
to
playing, if
explain
you're put in that
because
spot,
my
it's always
English
most tempting if you have
kinda,
your 2-item power spike of the lane. You
you
want
know,
to really eliminate people from the side lane, especially if they're the gold laner. But then FCAP really just put some breaks on Kyle TZ and let him and allow him to be at the right moment.
Yeah, and for you guys at home, if you guys are watching MSC, MWI is coming up starting on July 24th.
that's
It's the
how we
FIBA Pro
basically
Player
beat
Time to shine.
if you
Catch the
wanna
MLBB
beat
Women's Invitational 2024,
C9
where 12 teams
on,
from 11
the
regions
NAC.
break barriers and redefine esports. Make sure you guys check that out. But again, coming into this match, we're going into game number 2 of Falcons AP Brand going up against TLPH. Adjustments here. Are we still going to see Falcons AP Brand forcing Carl TZ on the Akai, or this time Carl TZ is like, okay, you know what? Let's fight fire with fire.
See, I think the Akai pick is fine. It's just how you try to enable the Akai pick or let the Akai pick enable you. Firstly, you need to get mid-prio. That is number one. I think if they want to go for the Akai or any utility, that's what they have to do. Get the mid-prio on Sanji. Another way would just be to ban the Ling.
Yeah.
That's what they go for too. So Liquid Echo this time, blue side.
Yeah, it solves a lot of problems actually. I think it was more of a jab coming out from TLPH, more like a check ping as we call it. It's like you just try to you're just gonna let through a very OP hero to a team that you respect so much. See if you can actually win over it. If you don't, then just ban it. And that's exactly what TLPH has done.
Yeah. Chip
Valentina has a 100%
should be
pick
the
and
Loyi
ban
ban
rate here in the
for Falcons
Philippines, so
AP brand.
kinda
I think despite, you know, the Loyi not really being picked up as much, not as
Then,
prio as the Chip, it's still
she's kinda
ridiculous on
usable
these two teams. Sanji
in
knows
terms
how to pull
of
it off.
burst and then
But,
utility.
hey, for Falcons AP brand, if they really want to put prio on the Roger, maybe even on the Edith, some of these prio picks for FCAP, they could leave the Loyi open, and that's what they decide to do. They ban out the Roger, and they leave open the Loyi. Obviously, it's going to be picked up.
Back the ban.
The fact that they prioed a Roger more, that's how much respect they have for Benny Cutie.
Exactly. This time, because they are on the red side, they will let it through. So what else is open? You don't really want to pick up the Moskov easily. At the same time, you want to pick the Assassins. I think this could be what Hayabusa Ruby that actually happened before. But yeah, in this case, maybe
Ruby
get
would
the
be a good pick.
Terizla first. That's a great opening.
Nah.
And then pick
In
up
PH, they don't
Valentine
usually
is
pick
also banned. Angela perhaps. Or maybe they steal the Yuzhong this time instead of the Terizla.
Mostly it would be Lapu,
I believe that if you want to pick up against the Luya, you pick up Arlot.
Terizla,
So I would
possible
say
Khalid if there's no
Julian.
XP.
Okay, so at least they can pick up the Terizla. Julian is
Flex.
in a flex.
It's flex.
Yeah,
For Falcons AP brand, it is a flex. Can go mid, it can go
No,
jungle.
Arlot's
Heck,
gonna-
why not? Maybe
Arlot's
we'll see
gonna-
a goal lane or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, that might be too far, gold lane, but I agree.
yeah. Do you want to pick up the Baksha now if you are TLPH? Especially because you're going up against Terizla, who is reliant on spell vamp. I believe that makes it. There it is.
With
But they
my
pick up the
Lancelot.
they snatch the Arlot. Arlot, this Luyi. Here we go. It worked before.
Moskov.
Many times. Do you want to pick up Moskov
Back
against
in Lapu
Luyi?
if possible.
They did.
Because they're brand.
They definitely want to utilize at least something of global presence, right?
Yep.
The fact that the Loyi will be able to utilize that mobility technically with the teleports, you want to have some way to actually join in the team fight as well.
Casters, you guys are seeing this combination coming in from TLPH, the Luyi, the Arlet, as well as the Boxia. How do you guys feel? Do you guys think they can get mid-prio?
I think this time around, mid-prio is definitely a possibility, but at the same time, if they want mid-prio, I don't think that Arlet needs to be in that roam position. It's a give and take here, right? It's either EXP or support. Somebody's got to give prio.
What's shocking me about the way the draft has gone, at least for the first phase, is how unfazed these two
Oh,
teams
yeah.
are, because they're trading with big blows. These are big ticket heroes that you're allowing your opponents to have. So this must mean they both anticipated this much.
GP will
And now
go
looking
Arlet
at,
if possible.
looking at how the ban has been shaping up, TLPH is really looking at this Julian as a flex. They're betting on
They
the
should ban at
Hayabusa.
least
I think
Sparta.
especially because you picked up the Baksha as well as the Luyi, you don't want to pick up utility now if you're FCAP. So you might actually go for this Julian as the jungle, pick up a, or maybe last pick the few hero in that case so that you still keep this Julian intact. Now I'm curious, will FCAP still go for the Minotaur despite the Baksha being picked up on the other side, or will they just go for a Matilda so that you'll have a faster tempo? Or maybe even a Lolita. Yeah, they did pick it up.
There you go.
I didn't finish my sentence, but yeah, that was I was about to say the Lolita, so that also TLPH will not be able to pick it up.
That's fine.
Carry Minotaur. That's pretty much instant. So yeah, you pick up Eve maybe if you're FCAP.
Hold on. The biggest change recently is the mentality. We don't care if we win or lose. We just want to play the game. This is coming in from the coach, Ducky from Falcons AP brand. And now FCAP. This final pickup will show where the Julian is going to be.
I think Lilia for FCAP maybe. If not, I believe that Eve might actually be one of the better options here, so that you eliminate the threat of the carry.
Personally,
Lilia
I
makes
would go
wonders
Lilia,
because,
but
you're not that afraid of the Lilia initiations. You can actually be scouting all the time.
He would
Yep.
be
Right
kind of
against the
useless
Baksha
on
too,
the
right against
front
these frontliners who want to get
Baksha.
up in your face the fact that you can get so much mid-prio for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You can also
Well, I
technically
play her
deny
more
that
as like
mid-prio away from
a
Liquid Echo to try and
kind of like a
enable that
support
Moscow
kite.
gold lane to carry, which is
You know,
already, by the
basically
way,
just
a very good
play
matchup.
bait
They
the
go
whole
for
game.
Lilia. This is a very scary comp. Falcons AP brand for me.
Well,
Are,
the thing is,
are
we're
you
gonna
going?
throw it over to
Are
the
you
guys who were
still
asking
going
about
to
this
be
mid-trio,
the
but now
marksman, or
having
are you
Yeah.
going
Leo
to
up
change?
there is going
Yeah.
to be difficult for TLPH
G.
to get that mid-prio. With that being said, Leo
Okay.
and Gideon, show us what you got in game number 2.
It will be liquid on here
Look, we
then.
were stuck in the Matrix. We should have listened.
Yeah,
We
I
should have
think
listened to Wolf at midnight. It's time to wake
Marty's
up,
gonna
people.
try and
This is the
mage.
real MLBB, and
Marty
that
or
draft
Buck, I
is
don't remember.
absolutely nasty. I have
And
to say,
then,
the aggression, any kind of
I
aggression,
think
it's gonna have
Stigma's
some
gonna stick
major
with the
clapbacks.
XP.
Red pill or blue pill,
Right, Sigma?
mid-prio
Are
or
you here?
team fight
He was here.
engagement.
I don't know if he
I
still
think
is.
both are just as equally important, but
And
if you're looking at
then,
new strats,
I mean,
Falcons
Joe
and
can
Red are
do
not trying to
whatever
bring
we
him out
need Joe
here
to
and
do.
now.
Like, he
Yeah, I
literally
think it's one of those moments where
can do
I have to
anything.
agree with Miracle. FCAP do have
Jungle
a
probably not
slightly
the
better
best,
draft.
but I think
We'll talk about
Kage's
it a
locked
little bit
into
more
that,
once we
so.
head into the land of Dawn. Welcome, people. It's game number 2 in this best of 5 series. Currently, FCAP is 1 point ahead
Because
of Liquid
he can
Echo.
do any
Liquid Echo on
assassin,
blue,
so
FCAP
we need
on red.
You can see
Stigma to
here
focus
the GOAT
on
Carl
the
TZ
XP
slightly
hero.
faster
So
on the uptake when it comes to his farm, but that
we
does
gonna
not
need a lot
stop
of
Falcons AP
practice on
Bren
that.
from doing what they do best. Again, our analysts
Execution
mentioned
and
this.
then
They're going
shot
to
call.
start pushing in mid. Look at how fast they cleared that wave, forcing Liquid Echo to be defensive in their trio.
I mean, I think they're learning a couple of things from the previous game. They're like, okay,
Oh
maybe
man,
we
did
traded
you
a
see
little too
that
early the
they
last
had
time.
the
But against
stream
Feud,
time
obviously,
wrong
it's
earlier?
harder to find these trades, so let's just focus on lane prio. Ooh. Early
What?
flicker coming out of JP.
What is it?
Yep, and that does
Stream
open
time.
up a.
They had it
Actually,
set
by
for
Carl TZ on the
5
Wander.
a.m.
Luckily,
my
Kyle
time,
did hold,
and it was supposed
his
to start
ground
at
there.
7
Didn't pull the
a.m.
trigger just
my
yet, but
time.
yeah,
Ah, yeah.
about, oh, wait, team fight up top.
They had it 2 hours early.
It's kinda
Carl TZ takes
Oh.
down Kyle.
there's
Flap might be up
there's
next.
problem on their
Looking
internet
to get some
service
spell
if
back, but
I'm
not this early
if
on.
I didn't mistake.
Liquid Echo
Yeah.
not gonna let go. They're gonna take away small camp too.
They gotta take
Yeah,
care of
this
everything,
is why
right? And
I
think that
hate
Logan, as much as he
Baksha.
wants to use this Guardian's Bulwark to deny, it's really not going to mean too much. But at the same time, right, I think that Kyle, he already found the value in that first flicker, and now Carl TZ just has to choke him out of farm for the rest of this game. We're going to see how things are going to progress, but in the meantime, right, first turtle coming up in 15 seconds, and I think that Falcon AP Bren,
Okay,
they might
now
just give
check
this up. Give
check
up the
their
first one,
rotation.
wait for the second turtle, and then play to the strengths of their comp. They're great at
Ah,
taking
okay,
fights
I see,
and
I
then
see.
slowly peeling back, while Liquid Echo is like, we're good at holding ground.
Which is
pushing
going
forward.
on
Which is a very
the
similar dynamic
XP
from
lane,
game number
and
one.
then
It's that awareness. It's that answer to who's the beatdown that Falcons AP Bren used to win game number one so handily. But how about now? Now that they're
unless
down
they
one
are still
kill,
level
about
level
200,
3.
300 gold. It's still them first to the scene, pulling the turtle slightly up. Can Kyle and Carl make it on time?
I definitely think that Carl can make it
Yep.
on time, especially with Shield Unity, but honestly, both teams recognize that this doesn't seem like a very fruitful fight. Like, we could fight for this, but really, what are we going to get off of it, right? Because it's more ideal for Liquid Echo, because if JP gets that Minoan Fury, it's kind of hard for Falcons AP Bren to re-engage into that fight, and that means that Ogwin needs to sit back when he really wants to be forward to deny skill shots.
And we really haven't seen much from that tree. Up top! Oh no!
No, look.
Sanford! Taken out by Flap and Kyle.
Mage is
and now that's a
level
man
4,
down. Liquid
XP is
Echo have to
level
fight
4,
for
and
this turtle
they are
while
still
missing
they are
out
waiting for
on
JP to be
a
level
final
4.
flash.
Oh my god!
The full-on engage.
Dead.
For that
That's
secure.
Sanford.
In comes JP. Kyle Beasy secures the turtle. And the Minoan Fury by JP finds no one, at least not in lethal range. And Kyle TZ here taking his small camp while Sanford and Sanji come in. Quick diversion play. And Falcons AP Bren make themselves
Run,
scarce.
Vic.
Woo! I mean, it's 1-1 so far. Everybody's trying to make sure that they aren't dying to silly little things, right? They're just trying to make sure that if they are
Dang.
going to get a lead, sure, don't let them extend it. Keep them at bay.
Again, this is real MLBB now. So there are no such thing as nothing fights, nothing comes for free, and everything happens for a purpose. Super Marco Thrown on the SOD up top. Could this be round 2? Sanford vengeancing from one to another. Still a replay for about a minute ago.
Sorry about the dog.
Take him out again.
I mean, they've been doing this time and time again, and I'm curious to see, is this because of, you know, the mechanics? They're trying to punish, like, if you want to show off your mechanics, sure. Let's see how much you can test it against us as a more consistent comp, and honestly, an easier comp to pull off from the side of Falcons AP brand. I think that Liquid Echo really need to start thinking where they need to find these resources.
So far, there is a huge lead for Flappeasy over Sanford, and a slight lead for Benny.
Yeah, Sanford's struggling right now.
That's Corrosion Scythe and change on Benny Cutie's carry already. 40 seconds until the next Lord is spawned, and I think we've yet to see the full breadth of what
But on the late game,
I think there could be bigger turns, especially when the Lord comes up.
I absolutely agree with you, but at the same time, it's on condition, right? Where's the penalty zone? Has Kaltizi used all 3 of his abilities? Has Ogun used the Numenon Blast? Because even if you do get a flank, that Guardian's Bulwark is super annoying. Deflecting projectiles back at you, that takes away a lot of value from Sanji.
Which I think counts a majority of Liquid Echo's true damage, right? I mean, main damage sources. The spells Sanji throws out, those are all projectiles. Benny Cutie's light wheels, those are all projectiles.
Oh shit,
Also
Sanford.
very true, right? So Ogun can get a lot of value in this game. If he deflects into the right direction, who knows? He might actually, I mean, somebody might actually get a friendly fire kill.
Turtle already started up. Sanford gets sent through the diversion. Ogwin used Flicker, and there's a big jump in. Sanji taken out by Flap. SOD spent in. Kaltizi taken out by Sanford. Kaltizi secures the turn. The fight collapses towards CLPH's side. And Sanford dashing on through. Super Marco.
Run away, run away.
And he let him go. Falcons AP Brent, not enough firepower just yet. Instead says, we'll move over to the turret.
And now they have to hold. Unfortunately, I mean, Sanji did have his flicker available, right? I think he wanted to, it was extended a little bit. I mean,
look out.
No, not like this. Super Marco gets dashed in on. Survives just 1 HP.
How?
Down. Revenge strike and all. Now Kaltizi up next on the docket.
Oh, GG.
Looking for the climb back from Liquid
GG.
Echo.
Dead.
Both back off.
Yep, great peel from Sanji and JP. JP's waiting for that EM reaction to occur, and then he jumps on in. Let's look at that replay one more time.
I don't
Super
understand.
Here. Honestly, I definitely felt like he should have died, but you can see that everybody were blocking the projectile from Kaltizi, meaning that only Sanford was
How Super Marco just does not die.
Also gets rid of that demonic mark, so he doesn't
get
reset.
Basically that's his superpower, basically.
Gold,
we call him here
so far it's the same story.
Marco, because on MPLPH during regular season, he has literally zero death. Even they lose, 0 death.
I think Few is going to play a role in that as well,
That
right?
is
Like Sanji a little bit less because of Ogun, but
But
nothing really stops Few.
He got his first death on the semi.
The only person who can really force out that black shoes
Again,
maybe even JP.
You never count out idle
I
Nama
think
kids.
against
Few
Liquid
has been quiet here in this game.
during that time, so
Maybe even better than the Julian who played from game 1. He easily takes
This is-
control of these
So
points.
this match has a lot
Even
behind
has
it then.
Kaltizi vision.
Like there's
I
a
mean,
lot of,
Kaltizi's still
you
got
know.
lethal water at the end of the day, so he spots both of them. He knows Ogun's in that bush on top of it all. And in the meantime, just notice that
this is
despite
their
Kyle,
revenge.
hey, I'm already
Right,
2,
yeah.
But I have 3 assists, and if you just supercharge me a little bit more, I might be able to one-shot Sanji.
All right, here we
Turtle
go.
up, less than half health. In goes Kaltizi with the Ignite. Finds a Flap Teasy. Turtle here approaching. Retry raise.
Ooh, it's close. Nice, got it.
The SOD finds all of it. Final slash taken
Ooh.
out. Kyle Teasy. And now Falcons AP retreating. The divergence and 3 in. Liquid Echo.
Another one? Another? Oh. Oh.
For a second longer.
Oh.
Finds his man. And now Flap Teasy cleaning up. 3v1. Can
That's
he
great.
do it?
What did the fucking do?
He gets a trade back. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
he gets at least one before he goes down.
But Carl Teasy ends it anyways. Now he's pushing. All that remains from
GG,
Let's
3v1.
see how that all went. for TLPH's way.
I mean, look at this. They clumped up too close together, and I think that JP, after he does the initial jump in, he needs to get back out. The execution is really, it stacks up the more damage you take. So
Look how
make
it's
sure that when you get
yours,
tagged by it, just
right?
minimize your trade. Just back up. Take one step back.
Not to mention the spell vamp from all of those targets. So he got maybe a little bit more HP that allowed for him for one
So
more
Carrie's
strike
probably working on
to
Demon
get that
Hunter,
kill.
right?
Regardless, 5-5, 24K to 23. Here's a
Yeah.
diversion. I wonder if
And
Demon Hunter Sword
JP already showed
for
himself, and Sanji's gonna open up that map to see
for
Kyle TZ in that
and
push.
then
In terms of
going
items,
to
Flat TZ, the fact that he's gone for these Queen's Wings, he knows that he's gonna be deep.
Nah,
in the
I don't think
sauce.
it will be Demon Hunter Sword. It will be
This isn't the usual
Winchan.
situation you see.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And again, he's a very low econ hero, but when he has the items and when you put on a hero or a player, rather, such as the Filipino cannon Flap, you end up with this.
And he's strong. He's really, really strong. The only
Do you
one
know
we're
how
really
to
dealing
use
right now
Nathan?
is Benny QT. Now with the War Axe, it's going to be even more devastating. It's like, oh, you commit everything onto him. He's
The
still
magic,
fighting. He gets one big hit.
magic-based
Everybody just
Nathan
maxes out his War Axe, and
or
Sanji,
Nathan.
he's like, please
Yeah.
don't make me flicker.
But the question is, do you really want that kind of situation? Don't you want all the
Could
farm
you
and all the
practice
gold
using that
on
and
a
then
scaling hero? There is the caps.
mostly based
Turismo
on
does cap,
magic?
but it also combos extremely well with Kyle TZ.
Yeah,
Not to mention
I'll
even earlier,
I'll
this could
add
set
him.
up some big
I
plays
used
for
to play him a
Supermarket.
lot, and then
I mean,
they,
obviously Few is going to
of course, they
enable that,
nerfed
but at
him,
the end
but
of the day, it all comes down to can you hit the penalty zone?
And we've yet to see it. We've yet to see it. 10 minutes in.
It's
Diversion
kind of OP
play here,
actually right
sending
now.
Benny, Sanford,
If
JP down. Something tells me Marco smells
If
something is
he
afoot.
he is on
right here. And I think
jungle
Marco's like, you know
side,
what? I'll just let the
and
wave
then you
come to
can
me.
you can
At the
play
end of it
Ruby
all,
on
Liquid
both lanes.
trying to, and that confirms it. That
So
confirms
there
it's a
will
jump
be
scare.
basically three
It's a horror
front,
game, but that
and
means on the
you
opposite
can
side
do
of the map,
mostly
Falcons AP
damage
Brand are gonna
mid.
push
Just
TLPH
put your
out of
astral
position.
projection
Yep,
on
one
the
thing
enemy
you know
side,
about a diversion is you can send people out, but you can't
and
send
then you
them
can
back.
just go
So
free hit
that means
away.
the trio from TLPH had to walk the long way, which allowed for Falcons AP Brand a moment of aggression, but now we reset. Super Marco maintaining his placement down there in the bottom, pushing out that wave all this while.
yeah, I usually
How
put
does
it
he was
behind me.
managing
I never,
And I think, you know, now the side lanes are starting to even out. Well, maybe
because I usually
not
try and
for,
use it as like a
Sanford here, but
getaway.
everybody else starting to find their own footing. Small, very small leads. Oh, the fight
Could
begins.
this be the turn? Flap TZ taken out.
You
No
had
answer success
you
for
have
Minoan
flicker
Fury, forcing JP to flicker back
engage.
out.
So
Oh,
what you
no.
need is
That was the Numenon Blast first pulled. The JP held
Dead.
the trigger there.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Flap TZ died so quickly. It just goes to show that Benny is fully, he's complete. He's done with the Trinity build. Doesn't matter what else Flap TZ
the
builds.
most useless
He's just
mid
gonna die even faster. Put more health
mage
on
in
this, sir.
in
That was,
PH.
2 seconds all it took to take off Flap. So this is what I was saying. Like, do you really want to know Tarizla? Because at the end of the day, at best case scenario, he's a penalty zone machine.
And I think that's all you need, right? Every extra second from Flap TZ that can buy for the rest of the team means another stack for Few. Another opportunity for Super Marco to double up on that golden staff stacks as well. All in all, right, it's whether you can set the fight up. And I think right now, Liquid Echo is making it hard.
Yep, they're not allowing Falcons AP Brand to get any solid footing. They start up the Lord Dance, pulling it out, wailing away very casually as 3 members of Falcons AP Brand push through. Flap holding that river. While Kyle TZ just casually farms. Wow, look at this. Nice wave setup down bottom by Marco.
Yep, I mean, Marco, he's not being part of any of these fights technically with the SOD. He's got a global teleportation system on the, I mean, there's so much CC on Falcons AP Red. It's pretty hard to miss the SOD.
He's
as long
keeping
as
an
you're
eye on
communicating.
Benny.
Yep, and you
Make sure he
pull
doesn't
off
backdoor.
into a full corridor. Oh, there's a final flash.
Oh,
Few
oh.
Nah.
with the black shoes already. Kyle TZ spotting Marco here. Put out a third of his health. Benny Cutie dashing forward.
Oh,
Flap
Jesus.
TZ
Back
gets
up,
the vengeance,
Sanford.
gets the
Back
vengeance.
up.
Moving on, a blast into a beefy boy. They answer back with a Minoan Fury. No dice. Both teams back out.
See, this is what I was telling you, Falcons AP Bread. Yes, they can take space, but they can also give up space and kite backwards really
Bang.
nicely, as long as you chain your abilities well. Kyle is throwing down the chains. Hey, you can't walk forward. Numenon Blast comes out in time, so that, unfortunately for Benny QT, who is very short range, must take a full step back, if not dash backwards.
Something tells me this comes down to not just the damage dealers. We keep talking about Few, Sanji, Benny, Marco. Hey, maybe it comes down to the roamers too. You want to have a big Numenon Blast to set up, a big Minoan Fury to reply with, And then maybe that's why Liquid Echo is so good at controlling this now, is because they have the easier to pull off CC in their XP laner, the final slash.
I mean, there is some extra layers to it, right? Because Liquid Echo, because they have consistent ways to engage, those are the main two. They're looking at JP as well as Sanford. They're not too bothered by
Lilia has damage, but zero
but
assist.
Sanford is a different story.
These are both immovable objects. That's
Zero
what's happening
assist,
here.
0 kills, 0 death.
No unstoppable forces just yet. Sanford sent over into that small brush. Few knows.
You know, she's just hanging out.
All this while, look at Chris Marco just continuing to work on that wave. I mean, they already pulled that trick up
But
with the mid.
that's why we hate Lilia
I
here.
think they can't afford to keep sending Ben Cutie down to clear that
She
wave.
can
Let's see
she
what they let
can
happen.
be strong in early game if she can snowball him snowball her early. But the worst part is once all of his second skill is not or gone,
We need to take the space. Oh Lord is at the
Yeah.
she will be useless.
I know. I hated when they did the like how they redid her ult. It made me so mad.
Oh! 3-man knockout, 4-man.
And they continue to push in. They're not sending anyone home. JP holding his ground.
The Lord,
Oh shit.
the Lord hurts.
But is that enough?
He's bulletproof, man. This kid is absolutely bulletproof. He goes in whenever he feels like it in the middle of
Oh, he found Sanji.
What are you doing?
The trigger point blank penalty zone as the
Oh,
collapse on the Sanji. That's 2 down. Falcons AP Bren back to regular program and taking out the Lord.
Yep, and now they're going to take the space into that purple, insta-invade and fuse, just showing where the line is in the sand, drawing the borders right at Liquid Echo's purple buff. Now, we need to take a step
That's
back.
This is the longest Lord bench. This should be the grand finals, not the semi.
Man, Ogren is a monster. Puts up the shield and Betty QT nearly kills JP on accident.
Man, we talked about how it might be between these roamers. Ogwen has eyes behind his back. He set everything up so that Falcons AP Bren can walk away with, again, the correct small victories that allow for that huge turn. If we were counting out as a Lord Dance, I'd say that lasted a good 3 or 4 minutes.
Man, that's
Honestly,
crazy.
I would say even more because of how many waves had to spawn each and every time, right? We saw like what? 6
Come on,
waves,
Echo.
so yeah, you're definitely on the correct estimate.
My
here.
guess
With the
coins
Lord
depend
already
on you.
knocking on their doors,
Yeah.
I think Falcons AP Brand, they want at
Yeah.
least at a minimum.
Same here.
Oh, no.
I've maxed.
Cavalry taken
Maxed
out
it
the
out.
Bren.
Oh no.
Because the map has returned
I have
red.
literally
Falcons AP
6
Bren
points left.
soaring
If
through,
this
managing
knows, oh,
a 3-wave sync. This bottom lane
I hate it.
get taken out.
I hate
Up
it,
next
dude.
on the docket, top lane, mid might be up next as well. Where
Alright,
did
well
this
there's like
six
0
go?
damage to the tower, so
Bren are threatening
the
to
Falcons
expose
be
the
going
base.
crazy. Oh dude, I'm telling you.
They get everything and a little bit more. All 3 inhibitors are down. The best
I'm just
situation
Super
for
Marco
Falcons
just has
AP
me
Brand. I think
speechless.
the
Like
big
his
issue is that Liquid
his,
Echo, they don't have a means
like
to disengage from these
setups,
types
the
of
way
fights.
he
When they
gets
commit all
away,
their resources,
his
then it's gone, right?
positioning,
There's nothing
it's
else. You can't pull back.
it's
The
flawless.
simplest form of this were the multiple diversion play attempts.
Nah,
They would
no,
send
it's
2 or
no.
3 out across the map, and when it doesn't
Not
work out,
kinda
all right,
flawless,
we'll spend
but
the next 10-15 seconds walking
back
back
ending.
to where the dance began anyways. So we'll see if there's anything up left
Well, during
the sleeves
M5, I think
of Liquid Echo, because they need to pull that out a minute from now. And
that
again, maybe you
that
could say
is
this
his
is a different angle, but
best
it's
gameplay
mirrored.
ever.
It's literally mirrored. They're just moving down to the lower quarter, and it's likely Falcons
If
Brand could pull this
the
in.
M5 Bro the
Probably
skin,
going to
they
pull the
got
same
they
trigger,
got
if
it
we're being
from
perfectly
him.
honest. And I mean, based off of the items as well, I don't think it's going to be necessarily
During
enough
the
because
M5
half the
run,
time
if
they're just
I'm
staying
correct,
through. Worst comes to
Yeah.
worst, when you
Brody
think you're about to
has
get super play,
like
then of course the man with
45
literally
times
super
peak,
in his name shows
but
up and knocks him back.
0% win
Alright,
rate.
in that last moment where he SOD'd into 3.
And then during playoffs, when Super Marco used it,
He is indeed bulletproof, but how?
he is the only
You know
one
what makes him
who
bulletproof
made
isn't even
work.
really his own skills. It's the rest of his teammates. Like, they allowed for him to do that.
They're probably screaming at him, they've got nothing, and he's like, okay.
I'm going, and again, 1 and 0-1. That definitely was a punishable play, but the rest of Falcons AP Bren made sure
Random
Marco
is for
would not fall. Now
Falcons.
the
He's a
more the
traitor.
spawn, Carl DZ
We got a
JP
traitor in the
in
chat. No, I'm just
proximity.
kidding.
Again, Liquid Echo don't need
Just
to panic.
kidding.
They have the
It's a good
cross-map
game
play.
though. This is
Santier
intense.
holding a far
Almost
push,
20
and the
minutes
rest of Falcons AP Bren
Yeah.
looking,
and only
again, put up
13
a
deaths.
I think
huge
this
bump to begin with. Marco wheeling away at
Oh,
the Lord.
AP
They're gonna
Bren.
help to go-
Oh, he got it!
Carl DZ with the steal. The
Run!
keeps him in place. They are gonna punish him. He's
Run!
alive, rolling out.
Run!
Mortality still in
Oh
sight.
no.
Sanji, the
No,
Minnow
just
Fury
keep backing up.
steps in.
Keep backing up.
From the side lanes here, JP taken out.
No.
Here we go, Winter Crown spin. Few gets taken up by Marco.
Ah!
Trade up
Back,
two.
back.
They're still going.
Back.
They're still going. Two left for Liquid Echo to defend.
What are you doing?
They're
No!
counting bodies. Down go Cartizi. He's
Dude,
immortality.
no.
It's
Get
possible.
back.
Look at this.
Oh my god.
Wipe out. Falcons AP Bren at match point. FCAP is here. Falcons are here.
They've done such good work in truly stretching TLP like
shit.
pizza dough on that match. Now in match point, this
Bro,
is a
are you
huge
watching
for
on the
FCAP fans.
Carl
main
Teasy
source?
really tried. Carl Teasy from minute 0 was on
The one they given you?
FCAP. He never let go.
I'm on the
Or on the
Not just
Right.
FCAP, not just Liquid Team Liquid
MLBB North America.
He tried to put everybody in the backpack and get them over that threshold. But honestly, this Lolita pick
May
is
delay
really hindering them.
for
As much
like
as he
5
wants to
seconds.
heal, man, they can't get the damage in, and Few gets to play a free game.
You
because
have
of
a
that.
delay or I have a delay?
No.
Get punished for it.
It was
I'm not,
very
bro.
low key for that mid trio, but they made it work.
They really did make it work. I mean, honestly, I think even our analysts can agree here that FCAP had a phenomenal draft here. We're going to throw it over to our analysts to really deep
Hang on.
dive into this
I can
game
speed
too.
it
Point,
up.
bro.
Take it away.
Match point.
Most definitely with that incredible
There we
draft.
go.
Now it's match point, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, Falcons AP Brand, the way they were able
Yes,
to handle the
guns,
draft was
bro.
amazing. Even though
My
both
gosh,
teams
go
were playing in the
for
first
it.
phase, it was actually Liquid Echo that had an amazing start to the draft, but how they finished it off, the Kaja ban into baiting.
Check
They
this
knew it
guy
was
right
gonna be
now on the
carry or the top
KOL
coming up,
stage.
and they picked up the Lolita, and then the last pick in the Lilia just gave them
Did you
all
see the
mid
crazy steal
prio
yesterday? I
necessary
did.
to really put this composition.
Yesterday was
and
pretty
take
good
the game.
too, but
Because of the
man,
fact that
this
they got Lolita and Lilia in the
I don't know. I
what
feel
that
like
allowed is
there's
for
a
them to have
comeback on
a
the
much
way.
better
I feel like there's a
shot
comeback
with
on the way.
their- I would say with their marksman as well as their
You'll
jungle,
switch
because
on your
you
stream
don't really
real
have to
quick.
take care of those lanes anymore. The turn is the obvious.
I can read some chat.
That's not gonna lose, and you saw that wonderful reaction, by the way.
And that's
Yeah,
crazy though.
Lilia Lolita is such a strong mid duo in a way that you get mid prio. And when you say mid prio, you mean like clearing the waves faster.
This is the first
you're not gonna be
match?
stopped. You're always
Eh,
not
it
seen on the map
was
because
Exactly.
you clear
about
the
the
waves
same,
fast, and then you can
to be
help your
honest.
teammates. For example, Moscow versus Carry. I personally feel that that is actually Moscow sided.
I agree.
Yeah.
It is.
And then if you factor in this Lolita, that even makes it even more, more stressful for the carry to deal with.
I mean, honestly, looking at this game, there's a few things that we got to talk about, right? First of all, Falcons AP Brand, still no game loss in MSC so far. So
Right.
that's number one. That's pretty big.
That's right.
Number two, the box set did work well for
To-
Easy. Individually,
yeah,
we
the
gotta talk about our
timers
team because
kinda
looking
kill
at
us,
all those
huh?
skirmishes,
Oh, hey,
it's
not
always
10
Falcons AP Brand
minutes,
on
just
top. Comes to the
8
question,
minutes and
is it that they
45
don't have enough
seconds.
damage,
I think so.
right?
You can see that there's
Like, they got a lot of control, but
they don't have AoE damage.
Yeah.
I would say, and despite them having having the back shot, obviously that's
Stigma
low
was
E
here
as well, but
earlier.
you have to land the double vacuum. That's very hero centric, and you kind of have to be combo centric as well. If you're getting forced out, you're not dealing with
Hope,
damage. It's
hope
really more,
he can watch
I think
the
I think the term
gameplay
that I
of
wanted
both
is very
teams.
frontal, coming up from the side of Team Liquid Echo, wherein if you're looking at the carry,
it's too honest.
too honest. You wanna, it's one-dimensional. You wanna go there, and then the carry combination with the Louis, you really need someone to lock down.
Yeah.
You need your teammates to lock down someone so that you can go upon the hero, put them in your box.
You want him
and
to
then try
3-0?
kill them
Oh
over.
man,
That's
no,
the
I
idea
was
when they
hoping
pick up
for a
these
full
Arden.
series.
However, the fix coming out from Falcons AP Brand was to
Yeah,
actually
I was
stop the
hoping
Arden
for
from
5
farming by
games
constantly
going to
ganking him. Apart from
Echo,
one death
so
from
we'll
Sanford,
see.
they never
Reverse
FCAP did
sweep?
not
Is that what
stop,
we're about to see?
putting a
Reverse
lot of
sweep?
pressure in the top lane.
Yeah, this matchup, right? The best XP in the modern times takes on the best XP of all time. And we know that for, I think in terms of pure mechanics, I will still have to say, Sanford definitely trumps Baptiste,
On
but when it
the
comes
Mobile
to the game
Legends
IQ again, the macro sense, how he's able to
YT
utilize his
channel.
advantages, again, it was almost never a 1v1.
Chat is
It was
going
always a
crazy right
2v1.
now.
There was always an advantage that Flaptizzi was able to utilize, and that just goes to show you why he's at the top for so long.
I mean, what we're talking about is because we need a little bit more
Wanna
insight
say-
coming in from both teams. In fact, we prepared a special video for you
Wanna
guys,
say
so let's
something?
check it out.
Gaming. And then... Damn! Mobazine has 105k viewers, dude.
Ngayong natalo na namin yung si Yusun, meron kaming haharapin na mas malaking
His
Ano?
Yes, how many?
Para magka-chance kami na makuha yung huling titulo na kailangan namin, magpe-prepare kami at masisipin namin yung mga ginagawa namin para manalo.
Hang on, I'll be right back. I gotta go get my coffee.
Yung Team Liquid Echo bukas. Siguro nanalo lang yung Echo
Bro,
sa amin kasi
It's already 9 a.m. now, right?
tuwing playoffs, tas nakakalaban namin sila. Ngayon, healthy na kami. Tignan natin ngayon. Parehas kaming world champion at parehas kaming may 2-time world champion. MSC na lang yung kailangan naming makuha. Pinas pa rin yung pinakamalakas sa pagdating sa Mobile Legends Esports at papatunayan na lang namin kung sino ba talaga yung mas magaling sa aming dalawa. Papaalala ko lang ulit sa inyo kami pa rin ang current world champions kasi Falcon AP Bren lang ang malakas.
I mean, is there really any more to say? We Falcons, AP Brand are the strongest. I mean, like, I feel like at that point, it's like, you know what?
A on Mobile Legends.
You know what? Lang malakas is a tricky, tricky phrase because it cannot translate to a very long sentence. It's like Falcons, AP Brand are solely the strong team. Like,
They're the only strong.
the only strong team, like exclusively the only strong team or something like that. So
All
it's
right,
like,
we're back.
they're the only strong team here.
And considering how the pattern has been, LaFell,
Yeah.
interviews have not really aged well, but that one has.
That one definitely has. And now we got to look at our Sony MVP. And it's going to be Flaptizzi. The guy
84.
that has the confidence. And he said, now that we're healthy, we're all good.
They're
85.
so good at playing the game, and here for Flaptizzi, the way that he was able to tackle this game was just phenomenal. I think for this
960.
matchup, for this game, this series, Terizla is going to be a prio pick. I think after this, Liquid Echo will have to also think about it, whether they want to ban it, whether they want to pick it up for themselves, because really, when Flaptizzi gets a pick where he doesn't really need to care that much about the laning phase and can actually just go into the team fights, play for the team, CC, tank up, that's where you see the real Flaptizzi.
You can see top lane.
113.
There was actually problems for Flaptizzi face. He's 3-0 already at 5 minutes in, which means that he is very, very tanky. Look at how Ogwin and Flaptizzi protected Super Marco, that punishing Sanford all this while. And of course, because of the fact that there's a massive gold difference between
Oh,
the
I'm
two
sure
leaders,
there's
it's very nice
something
Sanford
for
to
him
be
random.
easily taken out in the team fights.
Honestly, at this point,
Probably
I'm
just,
surprised Flaptizzi doesn't do magic damage as well, right? Like, he does damage, he tanks the damage, he sets up for the team, he gets the kills.
Well, I don't know.
What else is
No,
there?
I don't think I've seen him on the
Right?
list for
He's gonna do this too.
EWC.
He's going to do that too. We got to look at the MVP. 5.5 KDA, but 92% field participation. That's the real number you got to look at.
That's why I think the Terizla, again, we mentioned this in game number 1, you don't need a lot of resources to make the Terizla work. The fact that he got a lot of resources makes it so that he can work twice as much. So active around the map, and also the Queen's Well's first item. Terizla's already a dirty pick. It's like a sweaty pick.
150 concurrent viewers.
Queen's first item just goes in front, stands there,
I mean,
tells everybody, hit me, I
150k
like it, because the rest of the team can
viewers.
deal with them.
Dang.
Not gonna lie, I feel that.
You feel that, right?
I feel that. Yeah, it's like
As a roamer.
That's a lot.
As a roamer, yeah. Honestly, I gotta say, as a
No,
roamer,
150, 162k.
with a ground food. And now with this match point, we got more to talk about here. Let's talk about the bulletproof Super Marco as well, because again, we gotta highlight between Benny Cutie and Super Marco in terms of the numbers. Look at the difference in numbers, man. Look at the KDA.
Yeah, that's why he's bulletproof, right? He just doesn't die in these games. And I've been telling everybody as well, even like before M5, even at MSC, that this guy is probably the best gold laner in the world. And you get to see him now in his prime again.
Yeah.
Maybe they were sick in the
It,
playoffs, you
it
know?
did,
Yeah,
the viewers
there were so many
did
factors,
thank
of course, and the fact that
when Indo
the
when
Team Liquid Echo
Indonesian
won
lost.
back-to-back against them. I think that goes to show how prepared Team Liquid Echo was. And to be fair, I think Team Liquid Echo did figure out Falcon's AP Bread during the playoffs of MLBB, but now it is a totally different tournament. When it comes to figuring things out, it was pretty evident that FCAP is actually the team that figured out the metagame that we have right now, which is revolving around Super Marco, just picking up the Roger, undying Roger, a bulletproof Roger, in fact.
It's all about the understanding of when you want to go in, when you want to go for the fights as well. But it's not like Super Mario.
Yeah, I've learned that a lot.
Literally the perfect goal laner. Well, technically
Like,
he
you
is
can't
in the landscape of
be
things.
too
but
aggressive
sometimes
on
you
Roger,
still do
especially
see
if they have a
some
lot of
mistakes coming from
CC.
Super Marco, and mainly it is in the laning phase. He's actually quite exposed to a few of the solo kills that has happened.
At least
throughout
for
the
me.
tournament. So
Maybe the pros
if
can,
Liquid
I
Echo
can't.
Want to go for Super Marco? It should still be in the laning phase, because once he gets out, yeah, there ain't no way, brother man.
Yep.
I feel the craziest thing when we're talking
If
about
we
both
can,
Benny
if we can at
Cutie as
least
well as Super
make it
Marco
to
is that
maybe
when you go into
maybe top
interviews and when you
16,
ask them, oh, how do you get this
I would
amazing
be
KD,
happy, you
blah,
know.
blah, blah, and they always say, oh, we're just
Yeah.
playing safe, you know, like we're making sure we don't die, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
we got to
But
get
the
our
thing is,
stars up so we
they
can get up
say they're playing safe.
up
At
to
the
them
same
higher
time, you see them going
ranks.
for this crazy highlight
Yeah.
plays, like
Mask
it's-
just
it's
released a
so
thing in
weird
their
when you have,
Discord
like, this
about their
amazing
next
goal
tournament
laner instinct to
for
know
the
when it's
regular
like,
one.
There's 5 people in front and I'm 4 items, I'd win.
Yeah. 8
Right?
minutes. You have the Nathan going in for Novaria. How confident he was in this particular game.
That's not normal, man.
It's not
next
normal, man.
tournament
And yeah,
on-
the Benny Cutie
on their
signature
Discord.
Nathan bump,
Uh-huh.
a combo. I don't know, have you ever tried that?
I saw that.
You
saw
said
it.
send it to you?
It's difficult to do.
It is very difficult to do. As a gold lane player myself, I have so much respect for both these gold laners. And for Benny, I would say we're more normalized to Benny plays because we've seen it at M4. The way that he takes on these team fights, you know, more of that guerrilla warfare, waiting for some of the resources coming in towards the end. And that's why I really feel for Falcons,
Probably
they
not
respected that. They
gonna
banned
watch
the
Party
Roger
any other
instead of the
games
Loyi.
just
That's how much
because,
respect they have for Benny Cutie of a pick like the Roger.
this is the
that
only one
can
that I actually
amplify
have
his playstyle to a whole
permission
new level.
to
Yeah, honestly,
watch
looking
Party.
at both players here, they're amazing. It's gonna be crazy to think
So-
one of them will be eliminated after.
And
this
I don't really
match.
follow any
TLDH,
other
if they
games,
wanna
to be
stay in
honest.
the
At least
competition,
not
if they
on
wanna
this
stay
level.
In MSC, they gotta make sure that this will be your verse.
July,
With that being
ito
said,
July,
thank you very much, guys. But we're actually going over to
Si-
stage where Mara
July
has something
season
amazing
now
for us,
open.
as well as the Wood Sandstorm.
I am
Only
here
not
with the
though.
Falcons AP brand.
registration deadline.
Lovely
Hey.
audience. And I want to see, are you guys hyped up? All
On
right,
full.
now with me, I say Falcons, you say AP Bren. Let's go Falcons! Let's go Falcons! Let's go Falcons! Let's
You have to
go
get permission?
Falcons!
Yeah.
Let's go Falcons! And
Well,
now for
I guess it's,
tomorrow with the Liquid
I don't
Echo
know. There's a
audience.
mix of
I don't
different
have
things,
any
but
access on the
hang on. I haven't registered or verified myself because I always forget to grab my
Let's go, Liquid! Let's go, Liquid! Sandstorm, what you got?
Damn,
think we
it's
can
jam
do
packed.
better. I think Falcons are better with me. Let's go Falcons.
Just
AP
verify
Bren.
again. We had issues
Let's
with
go
that.
Falcons.
Had been trouble with the time open.
Let's go Falcons. 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 Mara, show me what you and Liquid got.
I think we can outshine you with Liquid Echo.
I still have no
All right,
access though.
everybody, all right, all right, all right. Liquid! Liquid! One more time, Liquid! Pinaslang!
Bro, I can verify.
Pinaslang!
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, but it won't.
Pinaslang! We throw it to our panel. Time
Oh,
to
you gotta.
shine.
It's in the very last one,
Time to shine, and then look at that crowd, man. Like it's a
where
full
it's got
house.
the double
Let's go,
counter thing on it,
Liquid.
or whatever.
That's
Oh, they're
They're still the
actually doing it the same thing.
yeah, we're doing it the same.
Yeah.
But here's the
Let
thing.
me
Look at the
verify
crowd.
it.
It's
I
electrifying.
want to
Oh, yeah.
join.
I really want to be there. I hope this studio. Maybe we can
No,
meet the studio
no,
there.
no, Guys, we're working,
We should
okay?
register
I don't
them.
wanna
But
That-
how about the
especially
member?
after seeing those fans, yeah, I can definitely feel you. We can definitely understand. But what an amazing atmosphere in MPLPH season 14.
No.
No?
2.0.
Riyadh.
Oh, right.
This is MLBB Season 14 Pro.
Yeah. Honestly, for you guys at home, I wouldn't blame you guys if you guys thought it would be the
Just
Philippines.
verified
But
mine.
again,
All right,
that's
yeah.
how crazy the community
I
is.
got mine.
Now we gotta jump back and talk about the game because this is possibly the final match. Well, the final game of this match. Falcons AB Brand just needs one more win to drop Liquid
July
Echo
registration.
out of the competition.
We're here.
We're here. We're in the crowd. We got what we asked for, kind of.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
W Mans. But yeah, I mean,
Mans.
Liquid Echo. Let's talk a little bit about how
Atrocious
they can actually
aura.
take this game because it really feels like it all starts in the draft.
I love
They need
some
to
of these
start putting
names,
the
that's
prio and
funny.
Maybe start to actually capitalize on some of these mistakes that are
I've
happening.
heard
If
of
you wanna
2 of
try to
these
stop Super
teams.
Marco, it has to be in the laning phase. If you want to stop Few, it has to be in the drafting phase.
Yeah.
You need to try to take away some of these safe picks from Few and force that matchup to be
Dude,
more
they
prior.
even
You
have
know,
their
just keep the
manager.
favor over to Sanji.
Unfortunately, Arlott in the XP lane, as well as like a
But
Baksha, your Akai.
me as only
Something of
coach.
the past now, right? You can really feel the lack of damage, the scarcity of damage from the side of Team Liquid Echo. And this is not only game number 2, this was also evident in game number 1. Maybe a 4 protect 1 strat just can't work in the meta game that we have right now.
I got the pleasure to interview Carl Teasy in Sanford the other day, or like, you know, a few days before, and I asked Carl Teasy what meta is his favorite. He told me M2. Back when he could play the assassin, so we need to channel Carl Teasy's M2 days if they want to stay in this tournament because match point.
Well, now we're in the draft. Team Liquid Echo is going to be blue side. Falcons, AP Brand is on the red side. The Link, as well as the
What game
Charisma
I had to
has
turn
been
off
ran out.
volume?
Falcons, AP Brand, betting out a chip is a must. But looking at how the stage has been set up, Louis is just an option.
Valentin as well.
Don't
Wanna give that up?
and
It's going to be Harris,
I think
probably
I
a
see this
Roger.
in Empire logo last time.
If this is a Roger ban from FCAP,
Virtus
that
Pro,
means CLPH will
Exodus.
think
Wait,
between
shouldn't FCAP be on the
Louis
blue side?
as well as Moskov, right?
Do they want to go
I
for first
I
pick
think
fairness
every
if they
every
do, if
two
Falcons AB
two
Brand
games
go for the
they
Roger
will
ban?
toss coin and then
You don't wanna because
And
that
then they
means that
will
Louis
choose
can be picked up by the opposing end, which
Yeah.
they'll do with your
side
shields.
they
At the
will
same time, that's
gotta play.
50-50 actually.
Oh.
Because Faramis, in a way, conceptually is good versus Louis because you kind of counter the teleports.
What game
whatsoever,
are we
save
talking
your
about?
teammates.
This
However,
one.
the light
Yeah,
shields-
this one.
the
There's
extra shields is gonna be messing you up, so there is going
like,
to be the
different
Louis.
community
you go
tournaments
Moskov,
and
eat it.
stuff that
If you're FCAP,
people host and
At this point, TLPH,
Whatnot.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like in that draft, they just didn't have enough damage. So this is one of
so
those situations where
the
perhaps
price
Cardinals
pool
take
is
a risk,
25
and you have a damage dealer.
diamonds, right?
I mean, that's
Yeah.
definitely what I want to
and
see.
then
right? But,
1,000.
looking
Well,
at
for
the
this
Ashes,
month,
the
it's
O's,
a
they go for the Yuzhong, though, yeah.
1,000 extra
The
diamonds
Yuzhong
for
into Arlet,
the
that's great.
grand
If
finals
Arlet actually does go
MVP.
XP, but they have a way to flex it. They
Yeah.
also have a way to pick up the Edith. There's also a Minotaur that's still up for grabs. Great against this comp.
Yeah. In this case, you want to pick up your marksman now. Yeah, Moscow's still Moscow's available, but you don't want to pick it up against the Yuzhong. Maybe you just
Oh.
tank up. What else are gonna be picked?
Go Claude and ban Moscow.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty nice answer if that will ever be the answer. Or maybe you pick up the Lolita as soon as possible, but that exposes your Arlet. So there it is. Claude. Makes a lot of sense here. Blitz draft happening again from TLPH and FCAP.
Yeah, so I'm expecting them to ban the Moskov now, right? Knowing that the Claude is there, but
Yeah.
because honestly, if Liquid Echo don't ban the Lolita, I don't think they really need to care about the Natan, the carry as well. Two good picks up
Yeah.
against the Claude, but still, Lolita has so much more presence. We saw that just earlier, and we were talking about how Benny was really good on the carry either way,
Yeah.
and it's kind of weird to see a carry still perform up against Lolita.
And right now, casters, are you guys watching the draft here? Because we got to talk about the Yuzong as well. One of the top 3 heroes that actually has a low win rate. But what do you guys feel when Sanford has his hands on the Yuzong?
Look, it's always good to see Sanford on something that he's comfortable with, but I think as of right now, TLPH, they need to go wild and crazy. They need to throw everything at FCAP right here, right now.
And they're off to a great start. Again, putting his signature hero on him, the human calculator, the Apex Predator, can actually be more than just a response to Liquid Echo's movements. He can actually start fights. That's what I'm looking for here.
Okay. I think with the Kaja, they have to ban, the Moskov over the carry.
Yeah, they're not scared of the carry because they have the Arlet, so that you can displace him as well as Julian.
They're not really tanky.
They're not really. Nathan is okay, but then again, that's like Baksha Nathan, which you don't have this combo because that's mainly magic. I believe FCAP will review their mid lane now.
Let's talk about JP as well. JP says
Run, Brody!
he's going against FCAP because he doesn't care who else is on the other side. NIP Flash, SRG, doesn't matter because it's going to be either these 2 teams that's going to win MSC.
Ooh, that's some spice right there. The Lilia
Nathan
ban.
Florin. This is Nathan Florin, I think, for TLPH.
That's so super scaling though, right?
Yep, and at the same time, it's a quarter lineup that we know that they are the only team that can actually
Minotaur.
that they can actually play. But yeah, Minotaur also sustain.
So right now, looking at a draft here, Falcons, AP brand, casters. What do you guys think is going to be the last pick here? You guys feel like Julian going to be jungle again?
Novaria, yeah, Julian jungle.
I'm personally thinking that this could be a Julian jungle situation all over again, right? Strong team fight from TLPH, but the only problem is they don't have a disengage mechanic, but the same can be said about FCAP.
Yeah, I think you got to put a burst on few here so that the rest of the sustain is neutralized. Make these fights quick and dirty.
Or they could make it even longer. Maybe with a Faramis pick here for Few. Signature pick for him. They can try to bait out some of the resources, big ones from Liquid Echo, and then prolong that skirmish with the Edith, with the Claude,
How about
the Julian.
Okay.
All right.
Julian mid.
Bold.
Julian mid again, but again, we've seen it work. Now we have the Nolan. Nolan going up against the Baxia. Again, for our casters, I hope you guys are ready because this could be the final game of this match, or it could be the start of reverse sweep. With that being said, we're throwing it over to our casters.
A fight to remember between 2 combat masters. Be like water or sting like a bee. This is going to be a match for everybody to remember who is going to be the best and, as stated, to win it all at MSC.
Again, like true masters of the game, no one is shook.
Oh, leaderboard, it'd be top points.
To go for the best results possible. Victory.
Well, with that being said, match point currently for Falcons AP brand as we head into the land of dawn. Spawn points have been set and players are moving out. It's going to be TLPH on blue side up against Falcons AP brand on the red.
I'm loving how still they remain quick and dirty with their lineup, even if we did get the whole Julian jungle wrong. They just set them in mid, same amount of burst, and then put a Nolan in the jungle. Ooh. Flicker out by Few.
I mean, this is a similar situation to what we saw in game number 1. They get that early trade against Few to play in this mid lane, get an early battle spell, but all of a sudden they get punished, and maybe it's going to come through their jungle in Kyle TZ. With that being said, guys, starting on July 24th, it's the female pro players' time to shine. Catch the MLBB Women's Invitational 2024, where 12 teams from 11 regions break barriers and redefine esports.
Super Marco catches a few beads there. Oh no, Kyle TZ put down a 10th of his health. Carl TZ looking for him. The answer from Ogwin. JP topping up Carl. Again, this is very reminiscent of game number 2. In comes Ogwin. There's the knock-up. Looking for the kill. Benny Cutie draws first blood. Carl TZ hunting. Finds a 1. That's JP down. Super Marco puts them all back through 1 for 1.
Man, I can't believe Few actually was capable of participating in that fight, and they got away with it as well, right? As for mention, you know, Kyle TZ, he makes things happen, he gets the kill. But at the same time, if Few was level 3, it could have been even cleaner, and yet he just on the edge.
Let's look at the XP lane. Again, I'm expecting a lot to come from both Flap TZ and Sanford here. Flap TZ just allowing for this freeze to happen. Not so sure if he knows that Carl TZ is just around the corner. Turtle coming up in a few seconds from now. Real quick, a look at the emblems.
Based off of the emblems here, I'm rather surprised because Few is one of the few people that I would have imagined would like to have the lead.
Oh,
for
there you
Leisure.
go.
But now that he's in lane, it kind of changes the dynamic a little, right? Having the Impure Rage is actually not a bad idea, right? Especially when you can start chunking out some of the bigger members very, very slowly, but honestly consistent.
Oh, look at this duel up top, like Rock and Cena going at it. Oh no, down bottom, let's switch it up. Turtle already started the flicker in by Flap, no one home. Down goes Few. Sanford coming in, the Black Dragon form, down to the Dragonoid. Flap looking to burst him down. Primordial Wrath already set in. Kyle TZ pushing them through. Down goes JP, down goes Carl. Ogun finds him, even 40's gonna fall. Marco finds him. 3 for 1 the trade. Falcons, AP Brand.
A good rotation from the side of Falcons, AP Brand. Honestly, really split on that fight. Benny QT is still going to be able to get entire gold plating in the meantime, so it's not the end of the world, but 3 to 4, baby. This is getting, wait, hold up.
Benny did get a lot of bank there. I wonder if Ogun's going to get away.
The heck happened?
Carl TZ, no one knocked up, and that's enough to help the disengage.
Yep, and here we go. The diversion's coming out, and Few might say no to this. Oh, they get out just in time, making sure that Carl TZ is catching up with tempo, especially against a hyper-mobile assassin like Kyle on a Nolan.
All right, Baksha Unity is quick. Divergence faster.
Way faster.
He was going to get there anyways, so this is a small economic advantage for Falcons AP Bren, and Carl TZ is going off of the momentum from game number 2. Honestly, he did well in the first maybe 2/3 of that game, up until they were just starting to force fights. Now, they got their eyes on the prize. They're still maintaining their priority and rotating much faster than Falcons AP Bren can respond, but man, Falcons AP Brand just always know how to welcome Liquid Echo, even if they are man down.
Well, I think also because Falcons AP Brand, they always listen. Everybody can technically be a shot caller, and more importantly, whoever has the lead should be the one they're playing around. I think that Falcons AP Brand are listening to Kyle. Hey, I'm going to be ending up on this side of the map. Can we make anything happen by the time I get there?
And here, Carthes is caught out by Ogwin. Sanford comes through as well. The answer, the final slash. Ogwin down to 1/10 of his health, flickering on back. That's a Black Dragon form spent by Sanford just to disengage. That's a turtle coming up in half a minute.
Yep, and that's also his Petrify as well, right? That's pretty big. No Black Dragon form, doesn't have the Petrify. By the time the next turtle spawns, he's not going to have many resources to really try to make things happen, right? So he's going to depend on JP's Minoan Fury to set things up. At the end of the day, right, Benny QT still needs plenty of time to scale, and
what?
By the way,
Minoan Fury used to disengage.
it's
a close call.
It's a close call, but it's a huge win for Falcons AP Brand.
Blazing the wet by Super Marco right in Benny QT's face. Answer with the entropy. Super Marco
Can Stigma
overheating.
what?
Kyle TZ coming through, gets caught out. Benny QT goes down, taking up by Ogun, but Kyle TZ falls as well. I don't think Ogun's gonna survive.
I think
this.
so, yeah.
No, sir. That will help him get through. Vengeance in, but Sanji gets a double kill. The mid lane genius. Another one off camera. What happened to Phil?
Far and got punished, but then how did he die?
Where was the damage coming from?
I mean, Sanford killed him at the end of the day, right? And he didn't have his Petrify, like we mentioned, and doesn't have the Black Dragon form. Maybe he used the Black Dragon form. It's tough to say. At this point, we were too focused on the top side of the map.
At the drop of a hat, suddenly Liquid Echo have turned it on Falcons AP Brand. They're up by 1,000 gold. They pushed up top and they took the second turtle. What happened?
Well, man, looks like it could have been a mistake from Few's side. Hopefully we catch a replay of it later down the line. But for the time being, Benny QT, he's scaling up at a pretty, honestly, a decent rate compared to the first 2 games, right? He's got the Starlium Scythe. He already has second item Starlium Scythe, first item Feather of Heaven, and I think the rest of the team at this point in time are just slowly catching up. The important thing here is that Falcons AP Brand, every time I call it, hey, no resources on Sanford, they got to target JP. Instantly, they attack JP.
Yeah, Benny Cutie's eating good, and I think you can do that calculation on the roamers, but as soon as the rest of Liquid Echo come in and crash through, in true Liquid Echo Express fashion, they just run through what's left of Falcons AP Brent. So this is an interesting turn of events already. Carl TZ picking up the Brute Force Breastplate. Sanford sent down back bottom to clear the wave. And we are going to get to a pause real quick, try to figure out what's going on.
All right, let's see. Well, luckily we still have our marshals up on the stage ready to go and deal with these tech issues and help out these players as soon as possible. Don't worry, guys. We will get it done as fast as we can. In the meantime, it does take a little bit of time to kind of like honestly deliberate on the way that they're playing, right? Because now we're seeing that TLPH they're going down to, you know what? If we can't micro together as a team, let's break them apart and take them down individually, right? Maybe we can out-mechanic them 1v1.
Which is not how you want to face off against Liquid Echo. TLPH, I'd say maybe as a close second, the whole Marco Benny situation, they're all just mechanically ahead of their counterparts. So you don't want to go 1v1 with them.
I mean, they'll take honestly, they'll take the scraps, right? Give them a couple of pennies. Next thing you know, they've already made $1 million business off of it, right? It's just so easy to do when you're that talented. And I think it's really knowing the extent of that talent for the slight advantages. I give 1 penny to one side, 2 pennies to the other. Hey, man, I ain't touching the guy with 2 pennies.
And that adds up. That adds up. So far in game 1 and 2, it's been clear who gets 2 pennies from Falcons AP Bren. Now, after that turnaround, TLPH, Carl TZ has always been in the zone. Carl TZ has always been up front. But I like how all the other members of the Cavalry are actually catching up.
I mean, they are catching up, but Carl, he's gone into that meditative state, and that's a scary thing to see, especially coming from the young GOAT. You don't know what else is in his mind. He could be playing out every situation possible. He could be thinking about, like, me as a jungler, what can I do to set up the best situation possible for our team?
Even deeper than that, me as the leader of this squad, me as the flag bearer of our team, of this beautiful esport. Like, there's a lot going on through Carl TZ's mind.
Man, honestly, I hope that he does have a Kit Kat one of these days, because he needs a break. You can definitely tell that the frontal lobe of his head is going to start swelling the more and more people put the pressure on him. But he's the GOAT, and that's why he can skull it and handle it.
And now I think we are back into
yeah, you were
the
cutting
game.
out there for
Once more, game
a minute.
number 3,
I didn't
slight
hear what you
advantage
said.
over to Liquid Echo. Again, 1,000 and change between them. This is Falcons AP Brent chance to regroup. They gotta make sure that whatever happened about 2 minutes ago should not happen again.
Let's look at the build so far, because right now Carl TZ is actually going for quite a greedy build with the Brute Force Breastplate. He wants to be able to kind of keep up with pace, but more importantly, getting in and out of these fights is going to help a lot when you have the extra movement speed.
Yep, looking at the build on Few right now. First up, the Genius one. So that is incremental advantage. The more you keep hitting, the more you deal more damage. And Falcons AP Brent, I'm not so sure if they have the time to do that. With how fast Liquid Echo just, you know, at the drop of a dime, crash in. Oh, here's a push coming through. Benny Cutie gets in with the entropy. JP catches Few, dashing through with the flicker. Oh, Few's gonna die.
Okay, I mean, Few, he needed a couple more seconds, but now at the turtle, it's all up to Carl.
Oh, Turtle here at a 10th of his health. Carl TZ secures. Down goes Flap TZ. Marco blazing duet away. Carl stopping him right in his tracks. Another entropy from Benny. Down goes Marco.
Nice.
3-4-0. Never doubt him. Best in the world.
Carl TZ does not miss on these retributions.
Oh no.
And they're going to pull him over the finish line. They're going to pull and drag TLPH to get there. They pick up the kill on Ogwin, and now the momentum shift in the crowd. Listen to their screams.
The Cavalry is alive. Make it a 4-for-1. Falcons AP Bren left in shambles. Kyle TZ, he knows what's coming. Sanji goes into that bush via diversion. And what does that mean for the economy? Look at this, the Holy Crystal. This is Benny QT's Trinity.
Yep, and that's why they're up on that Amazon stage. Benny QT is walking around like Jeff Bezos right now. He is packed.
It's the Amazon Arena.
Yep, it is the Amazon reason for a reason. But look at him. He doesn't even care.
They're still going. Carl TZ from the flank. Flap TZ taken out. Sanford coming through. Can he stop Ogwin? The answer is yes. Down he goes. Another 2 free kills for the Cavalry.
I mean, this game is starting to spiral out of control.
Oh, can Kyle dash through? He's leaving these rifts, these fractures.
Oh, no.
There's a diversion.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it.
Kyle, where are you going? He's cornered.
They need some help, Carl. He's gonna put him out of his misery. Where you going, buddy? Retreats him down to the ground.
That's the shot.
And that's the shot from Sanford. This has spiraled way out of control, but despite chasing all the time wasted and bought by Kyle, look at what Falcons AP Brent have done. They kind of reset that mid lane. They're coming down to clean up that bot side. Sure, take our tier 2, whatever, as long as you don't extend this lead further than this.
They're crawling. All this while Liquid Echo are galloping. For every inch Falcons AP
Few is
move,
always down
Liquid Echo
bottom,
are
too.
a mile ahead. This is amazing. This is huge. I mean, yes, economically speaking, that's what, 3K, 4K? But look at the map get in.
And unironically, this is the biggest lead we've seen from Liquid Echo in a while.
In the whole series!
Yeah. Wait. Where's the TP going? Down to the bot side? Oh,
they go ahead and, phew. Ever the wily veteran puts up a huge wave there. I mean, this is plenty for Liquid Echo to deal with, but not like it's going to cost them much. Falcons AP Brent, they're really struggling, but every little move counts.
I could see it. I could see the PTSD in Few. I remember during the final, same thing happened, right? They took the Lord, he's trying to push, he gets caught out and dies. He's not going to make that same mistake twice in such an important series.
And just as quickly, he switches up to the top after that recall. Tries to take care of as much of the wave as possible. This is an enhanced wave. Sanji clearing out the bushes. Sanford making sure that he can catch someone with a full combo hell, maybe even just a dash in with a petrify. They are gonna push in through tier 2 up top. That's a Holy Shield still standing. What is this? There's a fight here. Ogwin flickering on out. Okay, still alive. Oh, they're gonna deny Kyle Teasy his resources. What was Falcons even doing? Why are they scattered? Why are they just shifting through the map?
It's just to disrupt tempo, right? Because Falcons AP Brand, they're not farming in this point of time. They are chasing Few down. And if Few can waste even more time, it's better for them.
Oh, there's a dash, there's a flicker, and he's still running. He's using the Wilderness Blessing to its maximum. And the dash, he didn't even need to use the Cyclone. I mean, that's reverse psychology. I know you know that I'm not going to use it, so I'm not going to use it.
Exactly.
And he gets away!
Exactly. And now he's come to a point in the game, especially with his items, that his CDR is going to make sure that he's roughly around 7 seconds per ability. If not, if I'm correct, it should be around 8. We'll double check on the items in just a little bit. But because of these motions, it gives Falcons AP Brand an opportunity to kind of open up the opposite side of the map. They're trading vertically, technically, in terms of land masses, right? Let's cut the map directly in the middle. There's bottom side and top side. And with what Few did, it opens up the top side.
Which is all the more amazing for a lineup such as Falcons AP Brands, because they don't have the low yi. They have to walk through everything. They have to take everything by land, the old-fashioned way. And here we go. We see it. It's 7.
It's 7. Thank you so much, observers. Now, as we get back into this game, Skypiercer already purchased by Kyle TZ. They're not going to let Benny QT stand and take the entire Primordial Wrath from Flap TZ again and survive.
We need to see Kyle TZ step up, or at least have him get set up. I think that's what's lacking, but that's because Liquid Echo are doing so well to protect Sanji, to protect Benny Cutie. I didn't even notice Sanji is yet to suffer a death.
Yep, he's having a perfect game right now. I mean, considering that the previous game he basically got a bronze medal for that performance in KDA, now he's like, I'm making up for it. I better get MVP by the end of this.
And he's on his way, well on his way. He's got about 30 seconds off of this flicker, an extra layer of protection. There's a Lord spawning about 10. Flap TZ here, dueling with his TZ brother. JP coming up. Ogwin holding the line as well. It's paternal combat up in here. They're both holding on to their big ticket ults, but I don't think Falcons AP Brand are ready to fight. They still need a little bit more farm. You're looking at a 5K gold lead for the Cavalry.
They're thinking about their children. They're thinking about their families back at home, how important it is to win this match. It's a huge chunk of money as Carl TZ zones out Kyle.
Ogwin gets caught out. That's a lot of ult spent to catch one, but I'd say it's worth it. Falcons AP Brand are a man down as Liquid Echo work on the Lord. A third of its health, a fifth, a 10th, and that's a secure for Benny Cutie.
Well done by Liquid Echo here. Really bouncing back hard against Falcons AP Brand. This might just be a full comeback here because it looks like Liquid Echo are awake.
6K now, the gold lead for the Cavalry. Expected to grow a little bit more as soon as this Lord spawns. Liquid Echo will attempt a 3-lane synchronized push. That's going to give Falcons AP Brand a lot to think about. And now in hindsight, Gideon, I got to say, Falcons AP Brand from a scale of 1 to 10 on wave clear, they're barely a 6.
It's not the greatest in the world. And definitely, yes, it's not like it's impossible to clear a wave. No, that's not what we're saying. It's just very dangerous to do so. You got to put your body in the line of fire. And if you walk up too far, Sanford could jump on you. JP could jump on you.
Benny could blast you.
And we've seen how many times Benny has blasted people with a Natan at full build. Honestly, at 3 items is usually enough.
And now he's at more. And that's scary. 14 minutes in, all waves in sync. Carl TZ like a shark in the water, just looking around, circling through this mid-tier 2. Lord with an enhanced wave up top. Super Marcos, this is what we're talking about. It's so hard for them to defend, and they're going to lose this inhibitor, maybe another. And here's the Black Dragon form just for good measure.
They want to guarantee at least one inhibitor here. They've set themselves up pretty well. They've missed the checkmate angle, but they'll create as many advantages possible for the next upcoming Lord when it does show by. Let's see a mistake by Few here.
Oh, Few dodging that Unity. They are going to be successful in defending a mid inhibitor. Bottom lane as well. Falcons AP Brent still breathing.
It's not bad other than the fact that the inhibitor that Falcons AP Brent decided to sacrifice was on the top side, knowing that the Lord was spawning on the top side. So this is not the worst for Falcons AP Brent. Could have been even more collateral damage. But let's take a look at the items, right? Because now we are seeing the dire hit coming out from the important members like Few. He wants to be able to have that extra bit of kick, but it's not really going to matter until this game starts dragging just a wee bit longer.
Oh, the DG, the Divine Glaive on Benny Cutie. Flapteezy's going to feel that. Ogwin's going to feel that. It's just going to sting a little bit more for the softies for Falcons AP Bren, and that does confirm him on full build.
He's strong. He's really, really strong. But the same can be said about Super Marco, right? He's been scaling this entire time. And the only real advantage that Benny QT has is the fact that he can just press one button to dodge the Blazing Duet in that Winds of Nature. Same can be said about Nolan, but, you know, it's kind of pick and choose your poison.
Yep, I think Falcons AP Brand have several layers of offensive capabilities to deal with, and for some you might say that's good, is because you have options, but no, if you're behind, that makes it all the more complicated for you to find a winning angle. Liquid Echo now up by about 8,000 gold here. That's 15-6 on the kill score. Lord spawning up in the upper quarter, and again, luckily that's the lane that Falcons AP Brand have to protect, but I don't think that that makes this Lord easier to steal away.
All right, let's find out, because Fuse just going to show himself down on bot side.
Yep, and Liquid Echo's going to secure the Lord. Sanford's going to go ahead, land on his Dragonoid form. Kyle TZ looking for targets. No one home.
Oh,
That's the Wind of Nature upon the Benny Cutie.
Boys.
This is a clear go-to. Few looking for the back door. The Minoan Fury coming through. The fight continues. They send Sanji home. Kyle TZ's down. Benny Cutie gets the kill. Few gets the push in. They're not letting him go home. That's a triple for Benny Cutie. And I think Few's going to lose his fight. Can Sanji get him? One more blast. There's the dance. And Sanji wins against Idol ng mga kids. And that's a wipeout. Falcons AP Brenner off the map. Liquid Echo on the board.
And now they're cracking up the base. They've turned it around. Oh my goodness. The cavalry finally arrived. Do you hear the rumbling of the Liquid Stampede? What a game.
All it took was one moment in the tail end of the early game, and suddenly Falcons AP Bren could only look for these off angles, these split pushes. As long as it's a full frontal fight, they couldn't face Liquid Echo.
I think they just knew. They knew if they got the Lord, it's game over. Right now, we're in too deep. That backdoor has to work. We'll do anything to make it work. Just cancel the recalls. And you can see the split-second decision from TLPH. They drop down the diversion, and then they realize, wait, what's going on? The backdoor's happening.
True to the visual image of a cavalry, you really can't stop a horse galloping at full speed.
With that being said, break down for us, analysts, what happened this game?
First of all, the sweep has been denied. And if we're going to talk about the game, we got to start from the draft. Mirko, what do you think about the draft?
I think it was phenomenal by Liquid Echo, right? We were talking about a lot of the problems coming in from the draft itself. The fact that the box shot was left open, Carl TZ is already on a comfort pick. Then they forced Few on a mechanical hero. But I feel like that was on Falcons AP Bread. They were the ones to force out the Nolan. That would have been another option to go for a mid laner, another safe one like the Faramis we mentioned. But the fact that they did put Few on a mechanical hero, they put Marco on a gold lane that isn't, you know, fully a winning matchup, unlike the first two games. So all this was just working for Liquid Echo together for them to get this game.
You can see that the Nolan plus the Claude is a very greedy pickup, you know? And then if you think about it, Julian as well, in the mid lane, it's not like a Farsa that can actually clear out the waves easily and is not dependent items. Julian is actually very item dependent, and then if you factor in both the Claude as well as the Nathan, that's a lot of farm that they needed to really compensate with. And to be fair, TLPH, I believe that they're the only team that can actually pull off the backshot plus the Nathan. And then you have it's like literally full magic damage. And mainly it's because of Sanford. Sanford was so on point all throughout this game, as well as Sanji. I think this game in particular, the Sansa duo woke up, I guess, and they're again exceeding expectations.
I think they've just been enabled in the draft, really, because I think all the way from game number 1, we were seeing all these mechanical plays happening around the map, and they were just able to adjust in time for game number 3, where they were the ones forcing out these 1v1s, forcing out these individual battles, like the casters even said, to get the advantage and ultimately take the game.
I would say from the beginning, it's all about Sanford chasing after Few.
Yes, sir.
Right? Remember the first kill, down bot, Sanford got the 1v1, and then after that, we see every time Few wants to clear the lane, Sanford's there. So immediately, Sanford just makes the whole situations like you're not going to be a part of a team fight up until even the Lord dances. Few was never there.
This just reminds me of the MPLPH Grand Finals. Yu Zhang was almost always banned out by Falcons AP Bren. Now, I think they have to deal with it.
They really have to deal with it. I believe that Yu Zhang is tricky because it's also it is a traditionally a marksman killer, but it's also an assassin killer just because of the access to the Petrify. Once you don't have your dashes anymore, specifically for like a Nolan, the Nolan without the Purify or anything because you're locked into a retribution. Once you utilize all of your dashes, you're now always in an awkward spot. Yeah, surely you will not have a contact with the Yu Zhang. Will try to avoid it. But the fact that you're not in the fight just because you're scared the dragon might pounce on you, that's already a massive factor in the team fights.
And it's already very interesting because, you know, when we're talking about the statistics, Yu Zhang hasn't really been hasn't been a big power hero for MSC. It's been picked up a lot, but win rate wise, it's not doing too good. Just goes to show you the level of skill you need to have to be able to pull this off up against those assassins in a game like this. Match point for Falcons AP Bren, and Liquid Echo played like there was no pressure.
I mean, speaking of which, we've got to look at our Sony MVP, and it's going over to Sanji, still showing how strong this Luyi pick really is. And let's talk about the macro play as well. Team Liquid Echo utilizing the diversion to make sure that anywhere they go, they move as a team to the point where Falcons AP Brand, they're the one that has to be, you know, split up.
Yeah. I think that this is definitely a better performance coming out from Sanji with the Luyi. From the previous game, it wasn't that effective, but this time, he's actually landing the double vacuum or the yin-yang reaction. But yeah, but just call it the double vacuum this time, and then it was pretty much on point. I think the only time that he actually missed was when they were chasing Few, but overall, all of his rotations were good. Look at that diversion play, bringing in the rest of the squad. Benny Cutie magically survives long enough for the entirety of the squad to punish up top. And even though Benny Cutie died that moment, he was able to clear the waves anyways, and he got a kill onto Super Marco. So I think all is good for Benny Cutie despite the death.
So we can see definitely, right, that weakness.
This double vacuum.
Super Marco has to be in the laning phase. You want to try to deal with him as much as you can in the laning phase, shut him down, and when you get into these team fights, you're going to have a relatively safer time, especially here for the Luyi, because in game number 1 against the Ling, or sorry, in game number 2, it was a lot harder to connect on some of these heroes because it was just a standard composition for Falcons AP Bren. Game number 3, they picked 2 assassins, 2 melee heroes that need to walk up against the Luyi. Yeah, double vacuum all the time, bro.
I mean, here's the thing. We talk about how amazing the matches are, but we got to talk about how amazing the audience is. So we're actually going to throw it over to Wheezy, where I believe he's with TLPH's crowd.
Wheeze.
All right, guys, we are here courtside with the fans of Liquid Echo. You hear them going wild. My name is Wheezy, and I am joined by Hans and GG. How do you guys feel being here in the audience?
Okay, I'm translated for her. Or do you want to speak in Tagalog or just English?
Tagalog!
Okay, I'm translated for you. Kamusta daw yung pakiramdam mo ngayon?
Sobrang kinakabahan na masaya na kaya namin to.
All right, mixed emotions. She's nervous, but she's happy, and she's also confident that they can win. Liquid Echo can win.
Echo loud and proud. Well, you know what? We're in the crowd, and I think Echo needs a little bit of a boost to get this game and even out this series. Why don't we get a chant from the audience?
All right.
Guys, kailangan tulong nyo! Let's go Liquid! 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 And there you have it, Echo loud and Echo proud. Good luck on your matches. The most explosive series yet in MSC 2024.
Thank you very much, Wheezy. We're looking at the crowd, and they are ecstatic. With that being said, both teams need to prepare, so we're going for a short break to give them time to think about the next match. So with that, we'll see you guys right after this. And we're back. As you guys are watching the Amazon Arena, we are about to enter our 4th game of this best of 3 matchup, best of 5 matchup. Ooh. And again, the score right now is 2-1. TLP, it kind of solves the issue where, okay, we might not have enough damage. Like, give Sanford the Yuzong again and ban out the Terizla.
Yeah, and Benny getting his hands on the Natan. Banning out the Lolita was amazing, by the way, right? Because they already banned out the Kaja. You know it was going to come around again. If they didn't ban the Lolita, it would have been another Lolita pick to counter either the Natan or the carry. So great picks overall from the side of TLPH, those adjustments.
Good adjustments, obviously, but I still wish that there will be a time where it is going to be Assassin for Mr. Carl Teasy. However, if they feel that it will not work, then I will have to be content of this Baxia that's picked up by Team Liquid Echo.
I think the next time the Baxia is going to... The next time Baxia is banned out, they're going to be forced to go for an Assassin, right? Because we know how the Akai played out in game number 1. Yeah. That was one of the, faster games of the series so far, the 3 games that we've had. So I don't think they are too keen of getting the Akai back in their hands again. But for Falcons AP Bren, I think they are very happy if that's the strategy that TLPH have. I think for Falcons AP Bren, that's the adjustment that they want to make on blue side this time.
Yeah. Sanford, stellar performance with the Yu Zhang. I believe that there's a lot of focus in the XP lane right now, especially because Terizla is pretty much OP. I think Arlet is a big contention between these 2 teams, but I feel like Arlet might not be the best hero to pick.
No, I agree.
Side lane.
I agree.
Agreed.
It feels like it really has fallen off.
Arlet is an amazing hero, especially given to the right pilot, right? Like, we've seen many people using the Arlet not really all that great, but like, when you're fighting against someone at the same level, the Arlet, I feel like you can fight against it. So as strong as a hero as it is, it's not like super OP. It's not like S-tier when we're just talking about these 2 teams in general,
And it was great because in game number 3 earlier in the drafts, it was the Arlet pick from Falcons AP Bren, and then you see the Yu Zhang. So I would say Arlet is good, but you cannot pick it up first before, ban out the Yu Zhang. Because once the Yu Zhang gets picked, it's either you will get dumpstered in lane, or you give it over to Rome. Yeah. And that's what they did. They put it on Ogwen. Still, Arlet Rome, it just kind of lost a lot of the strength it had.
I feel like Arlet Rome is great because if you really want to make sure that you win by, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, because the tempo they can give you because of the extra damage is amazing. But the moment you don't win the early, the moment you don't win mid,
make it or break it.
Then the Arlet is like, I'll sweep them.
I guess.
But now we're jumping into the draft here. Falcons AP Brand is going to be blue side. TLPH is going to be on the red side. The bans here. Falcon AP Brand not wanting to see the Baxia as well as the Valentina. TLPH says no to the chip as well as the link.
Okay, there should be a Luyi ban here for TLPH afterwards. Unless they do want to secure the Roger, which I think FCAP will just pick up first anyways. So maybe, actually, this could be them letting go of the Luyi. Interesting for TLPH. FCAP, their bans will be Valentina, Baxia. I forgot what they banned. Well, they did have to ban the chip, so that's probably why. Oh, they themselves banned the chip. Okay, so definitely this is a race for Harith and Roger. So I wonder if TLPH, maybe they just open both and ban Terizla, maybe?
Yeah. I think they have to make a decision here, whether it be the Terizla or the Roger, but based on the performances, the fact that they want to play for Benny in the weak side more means that the Terizla has a bit more prio. They can play for Benny in the weak side, play for Sanford to get the winning matchup by banning the Terizla. You really need to enable Sanford in the XP lane. We saw in the previous game also, but Wolf, this is concerning for me at least. If we do get a Game 5, this Loyi ban in the first phase, it basically shows to Echo that maybe Few isn't really too comfortable on that pick.
Roger
for FCAP, and then for TLPH, it's just Terizla Moskov.
Yeah.
That's the idea that they want to go for. Unless they want to go back to game number 1, where it is Edith Moskov. I believe that the Terizla Moskov works better. Especially, or who? Actually, no, they will go Yu Zhang and Yu Zhang Moskov for TLPH. Oh, no, they go Terizla. Okay.
Terizla a bit safer. I think it's all about, it's not about getting the winning matchup, especially for the Terizla, right? Yeah. I think if the Terizla was banned out in the first phase, yes, it's all about getting the winning matchup for Sanford. But now that the Terizla is open, it's about denying it away from Flap TV.
What about setting up for Flap on his X-board?
Oh, what do you think about the export? Because for some reason, we really haven't seen that much export, huh?
I would say now that the far side here is a little bit difficult for the export to pick up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we got to talk about how export is one of Flap's best heroes.
Flap.
Right? And I feel like it's going to be good against the Charizard, but having a burst mage kind of makes it difficult.
Yeah. They pick up the Julian again for F-Cup. That was proven to be successful in the first game when going up against the Farsa. It's also a flex pick. And then they couple it up with Edith for F-Cap. Not only do they deny that Edith away from TLPH, they also give a big combo with the Julian, if ever. So I'm thinking Edith Julian here for F-Cap if we're following the script.
Okay, that's the Julian pick. Another flex pick in the arsenal of Falcons AP brand. If they go for the Edith, it's going to be triple flex, but they go for the Minotaur, a safe choice. Master Ogwin, or apparently Nice tells me now, I don't know if he's trolling me, but it's Daddy Ogwin now?
Daddy Ogwin, yeah, that's true. Nathan immediately coming up from TLPH.
But they don't get a pick for Carl Teasy in the first phase. Based on the first 3 games, it's always a Carl Teasy pick in the first phase. Now it gives the opportunity back to Falcons AP brand to deny more of these picks away.
Deny the Guinevere, actually.
Yeah.
Let go of the Akai. You're prepared for it. F-Cap.
They want the Akai.
They buy a Kaja. Understandably so. Nathan Kaja is also as strong as a carry Kaja, even better range, so understandable they went for that one.
Yeah. Right now, honestly, for our casters, looking at the 3 picks coming in from Falcons AP brand as well as TLPH, who do you guys think has the better opener here?
In terms of opener, I have to say, I do kind of like TLPH. I think it's pretty 50-50 so far because, again, a lot of the weight is being held in the second half.
I'm going to have to echo what Mirko said, and it's very uncanny that you see Carl DZ let himself through to the second phase. I think this should be an attack angle for FCAP.
Is this an assassin possibility? I don't know. What about you guys?
Are they forcing him there?
Could be.
Yeah, for that reason, I feel like Falcons AP brand, they kind of have the advantage here coming into the second phase. TLPH, no Ling, that's a problem. No Julian as well, no Bakshis. So, and even Hayabusa gets banned out. So, really, he might have to go back to M2. The Lancelot?
Wow. I think it's
M2 the Brody?
Oh, Brody. Yeah. That's a throwback. They go back to the guy. Understandable. Okay, so if you're F-Cap, I think you put the Julian in your...
I mean, casters, do you guys prefer this Julian mid or jungle?
I'm thinking Julian jungle here.
Yeah.
Same. The last couple of times, Feud definitely forces the team to play in a certain way. It's about wave clear, but most importantly, it's about priority. Moving first is so important.
They gotta keep switching it up. They gotta keep switching it up.
Yeah, Julian jungle, then Eve. Pick up the Eve if you're F-Cap. You've proven that you can utilize that, and then close it out with the Yuzhong or Arlott in this case.
I mean, at this point, I agree with you, right? The Eve definitely fits in, but I don't know, with all the dive here,
of
they're going to go for the Faramis.
You missed that.
The problem with the Faramis, I would say, has got to be the Akai.
Yeah, this is Edith for TLPH, right? Pixano says first the Faramis. You clear it out easily.
Yeah.
Apart from that...
The Edith seems too perfect to be true.
Yeah, it's really good. I guess Matilda might be another option here. Because you want to save your teammates. Good combo with the... There you go.
Yeah. There we go, Matilda. Right now, we see Falcons AP brand going up against TLPH. If TLPH wins this one, we're going for a Game 5. And with that, thank you very much to both our analysts, Mirko as well as Wolf. Leo and Gideon, it's your turn.
Thanks so much, LaFell. This is going to be a wild one because when looking at both of these comps, they're depending on magic damage, right? So, if you're TLPH, they gotta get wild. They gotta get crazy. They gotta bring out the Florida man strats like Trex and Wheezy.
And don't forget Nice, we also grew up for a good chunk of time in Florida. We're going into game number 4, folks. Just a quick reminder, game 3, Liquid Echo turned the game on its head, like from out of nowhere. But just the same, it's still FCAP at match point. So we'll see exactly what brings us here to the Land of Dawn for this 4th game in this match.
Stakes are really high here in game at number 4, and even from the drafting, a lot of gambling, a lot of gambiting even, back and forth between the trades of these heroes as we see Falcons AP Bren on the blue side up against Liquid Echo on the red.
Talking about risky decisions that you don't know if it'll pay off if it'll be something that bites you in the butt. But early on, look at this. They're about to send Sanji back home. He's holding his ground, man. Look at this.
Yeah, I think he's going to get denied here, unfortunately, because we are seeing that JP is hovering towards the top side of the map to make sure that Benny QT can actually survive this laning stage for as long as possible. Oh, great stuff. Even JP just blocking the skill shot with his body. Nicely done.
That's a quick score up top for TLPH. Kyle TZ checking in on the small camp. Going to be pushing out JP. This is dangerous. Again, a Roger and a Julian at level 3 and level 2. Those are fully built heroes, kit-wise.
But at least for TLPH, they're not making the same mistake that they did in the earlier stages, right? Hit level 3 and now you're in some trouble. But for the most part, I do think that from Falcon's AP Bren side, FlapTZ, we need to see him make a super play at some point. Because if he catches both Sanji and Benny QT in a single final slash, that could just be game over.
By the way, folks, this is his Finals MVP hero from Season 12 when they won that championship at the EVM Convention Center in Manila in the last quarter of 2023. So this is a very monumental hero for FCAP. Liquid Echo, on the other hand, a lot of comfort in them as well. Again, Carl TZ getting that Akai, even if we were hoping that maybe he would get his hands on an assassin. This is just Liquid Echo just putting their foot on the ground saying, you know, this is how we play.
And honestly, I think that Falcon's AP Bren's composition, like, if we had to play this, simulate this 2 drafts 10 times, I think that 9 out of 10 times Falcon's AP Bren should technically come out on top, right? And my reason being is that it's just easier to pull off. Like, Liquid Echo have to get really creative with the way that they rotate and as well as work with some of the interactions.
Oh no, they find JP, forcing him to flicker into that bush as the turtle stands. Oh, nice Minnow and Fury, but Ogun goes down. Carl TZ gets him, and they're going, he's spinning. There's another round, they dash in. It's a deeper fight now as Kyle TZ gets stunned. They're moving through. Kyle TZ, oh, he's just living on a prayer. Sanford takes him down. Oh, all the bodies dropping for Falcon's AP Bren. Still no revenge kills for Falcon's AP Bren. And 40. The Apex Predator. He's unstoppable. He keeps going, ends up with a double.
He does it twice. He lands these executions every single time. Man does not miss. But honestly, at this point of time, it's great start for Liquid Echo. Let's look at this replay one more time, because honestly, when you do see Few drop down with the Netherrealm, that technically should have given an opportunity for the rest of FCAP to actually pull away. But I think they were getting a little confident that they could make something happen here and maybe trigger the Demonic Bark a couple more times so that FlapTZ to clean up that fight.
They overheated the bursters, and here we go, another go at the turtle. At a third of its health, there's a big Minnow and Fury, keeping them at bay. Carl TZ falls, Flap gets it, Kyle gets a turtle, Sanford falls. Finally, Falcons AP Bren back on the board here in game number 4.
And they find their reply almost straight away. Look at running to the top side of the map, knowing exactly what Carl TZ's farm is looking like. They can't go any further here because at any moment there could be some reinforcements from the help of JP.
All this while, Gold Lane was an island. It was Penny Cutie and Super Marco just going mano-a-mano. And yeah, JP will go ahead and give it a visit. Down bottom, you see FlapTZ with the fight. A replay brought to us by STC.
Oh, look at that. I mean, really well-timed stuff here. Like, Kyle, he goes in utilizing the enhanced swords' iframes to close the distance without getting CC'd. I will say at the very least that, you know, Flap, he's quick on the call. He is listening to everything that is going on. And if he can try to time it right, he could maybe stop Carl TZ for even getting the retribution off.
Compared to game number 3, I think Falcons AP Bren are comfortable now in the best way possible. Maybe they let it slip in the previous bout, but here this time around, I think they're eagle-eyed, falcon-eyed, if I may. There's a minute left until the next turtle spawns. Marco, again, showing us exactly why the Rogers favorite in most lineups in the gold lane. And that's Ogun catching a good amount of beads. Oh no, that's Ogun very low, flickering on out. That's so many thrown at Ogun. He falls. Few finds Carl TZ. He's too late to save his roamer.
Yep, great coverage here. Great coverage here for the size of Falcons AP Bren. And the fact that they're purposefully delaying the position, revealing their positions. They're like, okay, Sanji, release the feathered airstrike now. Benny QT and JP start walking up. Carl, just sit in the bush for a couple of seconds and then walk out. So therefore, it's wasting Falcon AP Bren's time, right? Oh, maybe he's not there. Maybe we can walk up mid. Suddenly 4 people show up. Oh, shucks, we can't do it anymore.
It's the delayed release. It's a limited drop culture. There's a a shirt, there are shoes, there are pants. Oh no, I need the whole set. Now there's a fight breaking out up top. Sanji with the fair strike, a few volleys dropping. No one home for the final slash. Flapped easy. Vengeance 1, Vengeance 2. JP at half health, throwing a few wisps over to Flap Teasy's way. Few dueling with Sanford. Benny Cutie with the entropy. And they let go. They disperse. All right, neither team willing to commit.
I like this. I like this more because Sanford still has that penalty zone. At any time they could trigger it and they don't mind. Wait, hold on. Hold on. It's going to escalate.
Final slash back online. Minnow and Fury coming in. Big knockup. Kyle Easy very low. Kyle Easy secures it. Flap Easy gets the kill. Sanford flickering on out. Netherrealm already spent through. JP flickering on out. Flap Easy tracking with that vengeance. Kyle Easy with the enhanced chains. And are they going to back off? Benny Cutie with a defensive entropy. Just a few fires, a volley of basics just to push him back. That's a tier 1 pushed in mid for Falcons AP Bren.
A huge win for Falcons AP Bren. Opening up mid-tier 1 is going to open up entire access to the jungle's top and bottom side of this map. Let's quickly look at the items, right? We do see the Blood Wings purchase coming in specifically from Sanji. That's going to keep him alive for now. But at the same time, we've seen that just with the Genius Wand alone from Kyle TZ is enough to actually create a one-shot angle or at least chunk him down to that Super Marco can guarantee the kill.
Whoa. Final slash on the Carl TZ. Everything but the kitchen sink thrown at the GOAT. Can he survive? Flap takes down his TZ Pro.
That's unfortunate. That's real unfortunate. It looks like Falcons AP Bren now looking at the weak link, and it might just be Carl TZ here because JP, he's not covering him. He's fine. He's fine.
You could have gotten me confused between Flap and Kyle because Flap is acting like an assassin right now.
He's dangerous, and not to mention that few. He's cutting corners.
They're still going. The Minnow and Fury knocking them up. JP's going down. Benny Cutie first. That's a double kill for Kyle.
That's insane. What a great play coming in from Falcons AP Bren. They turned into turbo mode this time. Find the punish, extended, stretch him out like dough, just like in game 1 and game 2. Let's look at the replay because you can see, right? Oh, Benny, quickly. Oh, I got hit by everything. Purify. Kyle shows up. He's like, nah, nobody's getting out of this one.
Just like how TLPH started in the early game with the delayed entry, again, the limited drop culture, they're also doing it here, but they're also integrating the extended box principle. They constantly move their box, mainly because of JP with the guiding winds, but after that, everything solved. Bub's your uncle. They have enough CC, enough reliable damage, and damage coverage. Yes, there's a lot of magic damage from both sides, but let's not forget Super Marco's here. Even Flap deals a good amount of damage with the Thunderbelt.
Exactly, and that's why he's so dangerous, right? That's why this team continuously, look at them, they're chunking out Sanford. They got his flicker.
Final slash displacing the Terizla, and there's Sanji coming in. Heavy spin, forcing out another realm. Kaldizi very low, put up against the corner. Sanford, can his BOS keep him alive? There's a vengeance, there's a dash. JP barely alive, down goes Sanford. Oh, down goes JP as well, 2 kills. Flap easy, forcing out an entropy. Can he take down Benny? The answer is yes. Boom!
The Filipino cannon strikes again, allowing a double kill for his boy Few. This game, high octane action here. We got to bring it back a little bit because the energy is high and the crowd is going wild. But Falcons AB Bren, cool as a cucumber.
If we want to throw it back to M2, you can't do it without bringing Few and Flap TZ and Coach Ducky into the equation. So if it's Carl TZ zoning in, going back to Singapore, you can't do that without bringing Flap, Few, and Ducky into the story. They also won that championship. They also played out of their minds, and now they're doing the same. That's a almost 8K gold lead here at 9 minutes.
It's wild. It's wild. This could be it. Falcons AP Bren can close it out quickly on Liquid Echo on that next Lord push, but for now, it's about how much damage can they apply, because Liquid Echo, they still need a lot of scaling. We're not seeing Holy Crystals being purchased just yet, and until that point, Falcons AP Bren might be a step ahead with the Athena shields already.
I'll say 2 steps ahead. Carl DZ picks up his own, and there is a synchronized wave in mid and up top. Holy Shield still online for Nevermind. It gets popped by that cart, and there's Sanji with a defensive, a feathered airstrike, and there's the entropy. Can they punish Falcons AP Bren? Can they deny the inhibitor push? They're doing their best. Heavy spin, Few gets popped. Down goes Carl TZ. They do save the turret. Mid still standing, another wave up top. Falcons AP Bren relentless.
Absolutely relentless, and more importantly, they're able to hold this high ground defense for a little bit long. Oh!
Oh, they go in, and a Minoan Fury knocks him out, plus the change, plus left easy vengeance on Sanford. That's it. Call it. Falcons AP Brenner moving on through the grand finals.
GG, well played. It's Falcons AP Bren in a successful 3-1 match to end this PO5 and representing PH in the grand finals.
This is straight up Reigns and Rhodes back in Manila. It was Liquid Echo who got FCAP's number, but not like in XL, not like in Philly. This is storytelling at its finest. The turn, the plot thickens, FCAP moves forth.
Look at that. Falcons AP Bren cheering, getting the crowd into the mix. This is what it looks like to be in the audience with these idols, making sure that, yes, we did win, but at the same time, we know what it's like to be on top.
The Cavalry stand tall, they stand defeated, but they are still one of the strongest teams in the world. Today, Falcons AP Bren was the better team.
They've done everything that they could at this point. Absolutely everything. But unfortunately, there can only be one winner in these best of fives. You can see the sportsmanship, each one of them making sure, giving their hugs, their prayers to their brethren, telling them, hey, that next stage, you guys better bring it home to PH.
The deep cut between Coach Treb, congratulating and thanking his former teammates. That's a moment.
Honestly, knives can only be just as sharp, especially when they're clashing against each other. They just get sharper and sharper. These teams grow exponentially in such a short period of time. It makes this, honestly, it makes this BO5 so unique.
Not to mention Falcons Esports. Team Falcons. This is going to put them even further in the club championship rankings.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh my goodness. With that being said, man, this has been an absolutely wonderful game, a beautiful game from both of our Filipino world champion title holders. And that being said, we're going to be throwing it over to the stage to get an interview with somebody. I'm not entirely sure who, but, well, let's find out with Mara Aquino and as well as the Wood Sandstorm. Please, to the Amazon stage, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the Amazon Arena, make some noise for Falcons AP Bren! And welcome few of the champion team here today.
Congratulations, Few. You are heading to the grand finals. You are ahead of the GOAT race, greatest of all time. You're one best of 7 away from claiming the MSC 2024 trophy. What does this win today mean for you?
Sobrang saya nung panalo namin ngayon kasi nakabawi na kami sa Liquid Echo eh. Kasi binugbog nila kami nung MPLPH eh. Tapos ngayon sobrang saya namin na nakabawi na kami sa kanila. Parang nawalan kami ng tinik.
He's saying that they're really, really happy right now that they're able to exact revenge against Liquid Echo. And they were really excited because it's like they got taken out, a thorn got taken out of their throat. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations after that performance. And now you're headed to the grand finals. You're either facing NIP of Flash or the Selangor Red Giants, both of which have Filipino players. Who would you rather face in the grand finals?
Ang gusto namin makalaban sa grand finals is yung SRG. Kasi sobrang lakas talaga nila ngayon eh. No doubt talaga na nag-improve yung Malaysian team na yun.
They want to face Selangor Red Giants because they're really strong right now, and he acknowledges that they've improved so much. The Malaysian team is on top right now.
That they are after their performance. Insane, Mara.
And now, with our ritual, you defeated Liquid Echo. Carl TZ, you may now proceed to hand over the key. Both teams have been dominating MSC 2024. But today, Falcons AP Bren has come out on top. Now you're holding this key. Tell us what you're feeling right now.
Sobrang saya kasi babasagin na namin mamaya ito.
He's really happy because later on they will get to crush their opponent's key.
I mean, that's got to be one heck of a feeling. Congratulations again, Few. And now, I want to give you this opportunity. Is there anything that you want to say to the fans here in the standings and all the fans supporting you, watching you guys at home?
Sobrang laking pasasalamat namin sa lahat ng fans. Feel na feel namin na parang hometown na natin to. Tapos pati na rin sa Liquid Echo na fans. Sobrang hype. Sobrang ganda ng pag-cheer lahat.
He's thanking all the fans right now because he feels like they're here in their hometown. He's also thanking the fans of Liquid Echo being so hype. So thank you all. One more time. Falcons! Ikaw naman, pa-cheer mo sila ng AP brand. Falcons!
AP brand!
Congratulations. We're gonna break that down for you, so we're gonna head on over to our panel.
Honestly, like, this matchup is incredible. At least it wasn't a sweep, right? TLPH was able to get 1 point, so Falcon, to be brand, they can't say they went through MSC without a single game loss.
Yeah, it's no longer, you know, the full win streak in games, but it almost seems like when they picked that Akai pick, I kind of knew already. It was, you can see the level diff every single time. It's just game one all over again.
Yeah, two extremities here. For example, the Akai that in the first turtle was okay. It was, you know, but it looks like
as it should.
It works as it should, but unfortunately, going 1-3-1 at 7 minutes, that's capital sin for any utility jungler, particularly this Akai. Very difficult to recover. It was level 7 when the Kaltizi was level 13. So that's very concerning. Level 9, I mean. Level 9, Kaltizi, Akai, level 13. Julian coming up from Kaltizi. You know that's not gonna fare well. And then, the opposite end of the coin. Flaptizi was monstrous. The moment that we said that Arlet in the XP lane is kind of underwhelming.
We caster cursed it.
He absolutely shred everyone and was always able to find Benecutie back-to-back without the Purify. Also had enough damage to take him out. I think this is one of Flap's greatest performances as well.
We should really give services towards the teams. Like, if there's any pick that you want to pick, if there's any teams you want to see them lose, just let us know and we'll support them. Right? Or, you know, not support them so that they can be good, right?
Hopefully that's the case for us, right? We got a lot of bargaining power here.
We got a lot of
especially
bargaining
after
power.
that game, but
you know what? For me,
this guy.
the most important, this is actually the most impressive part.
You're so handsome, you're
Like,
so good.
Definitely not bye-bye.
As great as all the highlights was, I'm more impressed that he can do that and not fall.
Actually,
yeah, dude.
yes. Yeah.
I was so impressed.
Yeah, that was impressive.
He jumped. He's not just standing.
Exactly.
He's jumping and he's not falling down. Those chairs, like, whoa.
He's a Falcon.
That's why he can fly.
Roosting.
No.
He's roosting.
Marco, are they Falcons or are they bees?
They are Falcon bees.
They're beacons.
Or they're bee falcons.
They're beacons.
They're Falcons. No, you know what? We'll stop at that. But I do want to talk about how the Arlet, the conditions were met. We were talking about how the Arlet pick could still work in the XP. I personally don't like the roam position because, like you said, also LaFell, it's make it or break it. You either win the game or you lose.
Either you're amazing or you're chocolate.
Exactly. There's no in between. But in the XP, as long as you actually don't give over a good matchup to the opposing team, the fact that they left the Terizla open and they picked the Terizla, it gave the Arlet the proper condition to not get bullied in lane. I mean, it's still a lane bully, but not as much as someone like a Yuzong.
It's very...
It's like you're getting bullied, but you get to keep your lunch money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
there are bullies who take your lunch money, give you a wedgie. There are also bullies that just give you a wedgie. That's it.
I'm happy that I did not experience that, but nevertheless, having the Terizla as a sustained EXP laner usually is comboed up with a very active jungler. For example, Akai unfortunately does not fit the bill. Cannot stop molding about this Akai, but it's really not a Carl TZ. I think in this particular situation, knowing full well that the Julian can easily be flexed, I think that they fell into that trap. Maybe Akai versus Ling, it could have worked. But against the Julia, there's just so much frontal damage that you saw whenever a Kyle TZ shows himself, everybody from Falcon Saving Bread just, you know, rains down on this Akai. They just give up their spell, they duke him down, even, you know, forcing the heavy spin. And once that's done, already the Akai pick is nullified.
I mean, we got to talk about how important the jungle position is, because I feel like we've hinted at it throughout the day, but it's more of a podcast kind of topic where the jungler right now is more of position 1. They're the cores. They're the one that's going to transition into a better state of the game. And having a tank jungler in this kind of meta, it works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It definitely does work. But again, the other team that has a better jungler in terms of the heroes, I mean, you're going to be left.
For sure. I think the only utility jungle that can actually work right now has got to be the Baxia. Just because of the clear speed alone, you're able to actually match a lot of the assassins. But when you're placed on the Akai, the main problem for the Akai, even in the utility meta, was the fact that the Fredrins clear faster. The Baxias clear faster. The Barats absolutely smashes you when it comes to clear. So imagine now, in the assassin meta, going for the Akai and not going for someone else in the XP that can deal that damage, that can actually cover the weakness point of the Akai. It was one turtle. That was, you know, usually good. That's usually good for the Akai. But even then, 2 turtles went over to Falcon's AP Bren, and they played in a way where they delayed all the turtles to a point where we only got 2 turtles that game.
Yeah.
The thing is, the Julian was left unchecked. You can see the quick activation of Super Marcos. Well, this is Roger anyways. We know
winning
that
matchup.
it's a winning matchup going up against Nathan, you know. Well, it doesn't actually technically win. It's still a 50-50, still a skills matchup. But at the same time, you win because you can get out of the lane faster, which also means that you're activated earlier. Now, in the second turtle fight, you can actually output the damage. While the Nathan, you are going to be dependent on your positioning. The Arlet was a problem definitely for that Nathan, as you saw. So I felt like, okay, understandable that they third picked the Nathan, but at the same time they didn't ban Arlet, which was the traditional answer to that. So there were many fundamentally questionable decisions coming out from Team Liquid Echo. And the thing is, they won game number 3, and we kind of smashed all of our, you know, fundamental understandings of the game because they won. I mean, winning solves everything, but unfortunately, they didn't work in game number 4.
I mean, with that being said, we got to look at our Sony MVP. And it's gonna be Flapteasy. And again, whenever we're like, oh, maybe this year is like 50-50, he'd be like, hold my drink.
Hold my drink.
Hold my drink, and then let me show you guys how it's done. I mean, like, we gotta talk about one of the GOATs here. The GOAT race, I guess at least in MSC, has been won by Flapteasy.
Definitely. Flapteasy and Few, right? Because technically they go in together, but yeah, Flapteasy, especially after that celebration, definitely the louder one of the two. And even in the performances, way louder with the final slashes connecting a lot of the times as well. Like you said, Will, this is one of his best performances, I think, ever on the Arlet, on the XP, in the probably the biggest game here at MSC.
At that, finding Carl TZ, that's a 3rd death on the Akai, just level 8 at 6 minutes, and you can see that Flapteasy, they will eventually land a good stun, but he reserves, he gets up Queen's Wings, gets the cooldown on the final slash just in time when Benny Cutie showed up, 5 seconds before the Purify. So everything worked in favor of Flapteasy. How was he able to stand? We don't know. Maybe we can ask him later. 13 KDA. On the EXP,
87% kill participation. Let's talk about the kill pressure, because that's something you don't really see in terms of the number. I mean, like, this is how much kills he's involved with, but the
especially
kill
with items.
Yeah, especially with the items. I guess you can say it's kind of offensive with the Thunderbelt, but you know.
Yeah, it's
T-Belt.
It's a defensive build almost, you know, utility.
It is. It's actually totally okay.
And now with us, it's Master Ogwen. So first of all, how does it feel getting your revenge?
It's pretty fun because he got Flap's revenge and he shouted at them. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, what did he say?
Like, I love you.
What did he say?
I love you. Better luck next time, buddy.
I love you. Better luck next time. And then say it over and over and over and over again.
I love you. While standing on a chair.
How is it that you guys are playing thousands of kilometers away from home? How does it feel like to play with a home ground advantage?
Yeah.
I think it's similar to M5. Actually, we really have so many fans here. So it's really surprising. It's really overwhelming when it comes to their support. So yeah, it's really good.
Honestly, even for us, we're surprised because looking at the Amazon Arena, it was packed, it was full. Now, I gotta say, in terms of the matchup just now, it was 3-1. Throughout this MSC, you guys said all the competitions has been pretty easy. Going up against CLPH just now, do you guys felt like it was actually still easy?
What I think it's still easy for me.
Oh, for him it's still easy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. On game 3, we just give it away.
Oh.
So that the ticket of the fans will not waste.
Yeah, because everyone's here, everyone's celebrating, having fun. It's like, okay, let's not ruin anyone's fun. And now, speaking of which, seeing your hero here, Minotaur, I gotta say, in the game, you made a lot of moments. Is there at any point in the game where you guys felt like, okay, we win this fight, we win the game altogether at the last game of the match?
I think the last game, it doesn't matter. We just stomp them.
Doesn't matter. Every single time they make a play, it's all game of winning. And honestly, this match has been amazing. Now, we got a quote coming in from JP where JP said he's looking forward to face against Falcon AP Brand because for him, it doesn't matter who wins. If TLPH wins, they will be the champions of MSC. If Falcon AP Brand wins, they'll be the champion of MSC. So now, people saying semifinals feels like grand finals. Do you agree? Do you feel like after beating TLPH, it's going to be easier from this point forward?
From what I think, I also use that line when I got interviewed. I think it's really this is the hardest part for our journey. If we ever win the semis, I think we can clutch up the championship.
There you go.
I mean, again,
prepare the victory party then.
Yeah, better throw the victory party. But that being said, we got to look at our STC play. Let's see what you guys predicted. And in terms of the numbers, it's pretty close. 57% said Falcons AP Brand is going to win. 43% said that Team Liquid Echo was going to win. So how do you feel looking at this difference in terms of audience prediction?
I think it's pretty fair because on the TLPH run in the playoffs, Falcons get a 1 point. So I think it's pretty accurate.
Speaking of which, just want to ask, now that the match is over, so maybe it's fine to talk about this. Did you guys prepare for today knowing that Carl TZ will not use a damage dealing jungler, or were you guys prepared just in case if he does pick up a damage jungler?
We are prepared if we ever pick utility or assassin on us because KLTZ always know how to utilize or play against utility or assassin jungles. So I think it's pretty our advantage right now.
What about the statement, right? I mean, from Flap TZ, he said that, okay, Sanford, get ready. I'm going to demolish you in the XP. Did you already have that animosity as well, maybe with JP?
No, I think I'll just destroy the whole TLPH.
The whole team. His beef is with the whole team, not just with one member.
Okay. So.
I mean, to really see it, we're going to throw up your performance in this match to really see how Master Ogwen really mastered over Liquid Echo. And all that, we can still talk about how this journey has been amazing. At this point, you guys won like what, $500,000 US?
Congratulations, man.
Like just think about
really
with 500K. What are you guys gonna do with the money?
First, we need to win the championship first. Then we will decide what we do with the money.
I thought you were going to say Project LeBron, put more in on Project LeBron.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Project Faker.
Okay, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, honestly, looking at all the plays here, it really does look like Falcons AP Brand are always in the driver's seat. And TLBS just has to follow how you guys have been playing the game. So honestly, in this matchup, is there any player from TLPH that is a little bit more troublesome compared to the rest?
I think the really trouble when it comes to the TLPH, I think it's the Sansan duo. It really gives their jungler space a lot. Yeah. So the Louis pick and the using pick is always get us when it comes to surprising us.
So honestly, facing up against, again, the Sansan duo or Sanji as well as Sanford, is there any point where you want to engage for a fight, but because Sanford has been aggressive going to the backlines, there's like you can't engage, you just have to protect your backlines?
Come again?
Can you help translate?
Paano ba na-approach si Sanford at si Sansan? Parang paano sila nagpahirap sa inyo?
If they have like a full kit of their skill, it will be a trouble for us. But if we out macroed them, we can. I think we can fight them.
Yeah. After this, here's the thing. Like, we don't have the video ready just yet, but the thing is, soon the video of the crushing of the key is gonna be shown. And did you thought that before you seen the brackets, before anything, that do you thought that TLPH, their key, is going to be broken by semifinals?
If we ever face us, I think yes.
There you go.
Well,
If they face us in the quarterfinals, you know what? That's it. You know what? GG's.
Maybe in group even, right? But okay, you've crushed a lot of dreams, in your run here in MSC. Is this crushing of the key? Is this Liquid Crush the best feeling? Is this the most satisfying one, or will you wait for the finals?
I think it's the satisfying one yet.
Okay. It's the most satisfying one.
Very well. I have a question. What happened? What did you do after MPL playoffs in season 13 that you guys were able to bring it back, bounce back together as a team? You actually transformed. This is so far away from your performance in MPL PH season 13.
I think we just got lucky on the meta. That's it.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, like, here's the thing. We were looking at Kyle TZ. Kyle TZ is looking very comfortable, and the thing is, he's not just like one hero, two heroes. He's been mixing it up. Like the fact that even Julian can go mid, like that's crazy, right? So honestly, like, we seen few using the Julian in mid. Is there any potential that he'll be using non-mage heroes in mid as well for the grand finals?
I think it fits the draft, and you will see it in the finals.
Will you play Julian in Rome?
Yeah, I've tried in scrims, but they don't want to.
Oh, okay. When he says that, maybe he's trying to like throw a curveball as well. We won't pick it, and then suddenly he picks it up.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, even though we saw the interviews and mostly you guys say that you guys think that SRG will be going to the grand finals to meet with you guys, but do you feel like tomorrow NIP Flash going up against Langray Giants, either NIP Flash wins or either SRG wins, do you think it's going to be a tough matchup? Do you think it's going to go all 5 games, or is it going to be a stomp?
I think it's going to be all 5 games again.
Ooh.
And it's also either of them will win.
So SRG or NIP Flash? The Ogwen prediction.
What's the Ogwen prediction?
I'll go with NIP.
NIP Flash. Ooh.
You know what I like? We talk about how casters have cursed. So far in the MSC, no one from the player side has predicted correctly. So you know what?
True.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But for now, we're going to look at the key being crushed. So, we're going to throw it over and prepare yourself for this one.
We're here with the grand finalist of MSC 2024 at the Esports World Cup, the captain of Falcons AP brand. Few, congratulations. What does it feel right now that you're holding this key and you're about to crush your opponent's key from the Philippines, your countryman?
Sobrang saya kasi yung nakuha na namin yung kinang Liquid Echo na tumalo sa amin sa MPLPH, tapos sila rin yung dahilan ba't parang naging underdog na ulit kami ngayon eh. Tapos ngayon, dinurog na namin sila.
He's really happy because now they're able to exact revenge against Liquid Echo, who was able to defeat them in the finals of MPL Philippines. And that caused them to be the underdog this time. So now, he's about to crush the key. Few, go ahead, proceed to the key crushing machine. Falcons AP Bren has gone on a world tour to claim trophy after trophies. They're here to prove that they're still the best in the world. And now the key crushing will proceed. This symbolizes Falcons AP Bren's success in this tournament, crushing their opponent. They are one best of 7 series away from claiming the only trophy that they have yet to receive in their trophy cabinet. Few will now step forward to claim the opponent's crushed key. Few, you may now show it to everybody. Congratulations. This symbolizes your success. What do you have to say to all the Falcons AP brand fans and to everybody in the Philippines?
Sa lahat ng fans na nagpunta dito, sobrang laking pasasalamat namin sa inyo kasi ayun nga, sobrang saya nung laban ngayon. Rinig na rinig namin yung crowd. Parang hometown na natin to eh. Tapos sa lahat din ng sumuporta sa amin na nasa Pilipinas, syempre, sa pagpupuyat nyo, sa pagsuporta sa amin palagi, manalo o matalo. Thank you.
He's thanking everybody from Riyadh for cheering for them, for coming to the venue, because the cheers are so loud, they feel that they're still in the Philippines. And to everybody watching at home, he's thanking them for all your support. Congratulations. In the Philippines, for sure, and all the Filipinos, they're all proud of you. You're ahead of the greatest of all time race. Good luck for your next best of 7 series. 1 win away. And now we're gonna break it down for you with the panel to talk more about the ski crushing ceremony.
Thank you very much, Mara. And honestly, like, we've been asking the players how they feel, but now I'm gonna change it up. Like, do you feel we need to implement this in other tournaments as well?
I think it's really a good idea. It's really toxic idea.
Yeah.
So EWC, you see your keys crush and they use it as a totem, especially the championship.
Does it feel heavy? How does it feel like? Is it heavy?
I haven't touched it yet.
Oh.
Which one are you gonna use for your trophy? You get to pick 3, right?
3.
If we ever win, I think it's SRG, Liquid, and let's see, Falcons.
Oh, Falcons. Okay.
That's actually very, very interesting.
Okay.
Now, I do have to say again, congratulations. I'm pretty sure you're going to be watching the match for tomorrow and preparing for your grand finals match. But before that, looking at the camera, is there anything that you want to say to all the fans watching?
Thank you so much for watching us, and I hope you support us in the grand finals. And especially at the nasa Pilipinas dyan, maraming salamat sa mga nanonood at sumuporta sa amin sa Echo. Yun lang. Maraming salamat po.
Yeah, you just basically said thank you to every Filipino still at home supporting AP Falcons Red and the Team Liquid Echo.
All right, thank you very much. And with that being said, we're going to be continuing by looking at our brackets, as well as we're going to be looking at tomorrow's schedule. Looking at the brackets here, we see that Falcons AP brand with a 3-1 victory are now waiting in the grand finals, and specifically waiting for either Selangor Giants or NIP Flash.
So, Lafel, who do you think is going to win SRG versus NIP Flash?
Do we curse or not, huh? I have no idea. At this point, I don't know myself. Tomorrow, it's going to be SRG against NIP Flash in a best of 5.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good avoider.
Pretty good at dodgeball, I see.
Yeah.
I'm practicing to be a goal leaner. Yeah. Been going
Still
up against,
not answering the
been
question.
going up against a lot of Nathans, you know. It's
Still
just like,
stalling, huh?
Here and
So,
there,
okay,
here and
who
there.
are you rooting for?
Who am I rooting for?
Yeah. Yeah, we're not asking you who you think will win, but who are you rooting for?
No, I get it. I feel like that's a very important question. I feel like we should address it. Like, we should address the MLBB Women Invitational 2024 starting on July 24th. The only all-female tournament at the Esports World Cup features 12 teams from 11 regions breaking barriers and redefining esports. Now, I'm sure you guys want me to talk about it because we want to capture the moment of what I think about.
Yeah.
And with that, capture moments like a pro with the 6-axis hybrid gimbal stabilizer equipped camera. Asus RG is the official gaming phone of the MSC 2024. Now, you guys would want to know between NIP Flash as well as SRG who I'm rooting for, right?
Yeah. Battle.
Well, it's a battle within. The Soul Vessel Skin Series, Amon, Vessel of the Seed, and Hanabi, Vessel of Rage, are now available, but it's only going to be available until the August of 5th. So make sure you guys grab these awesome skins. If you're looking to get them, the first time you draw is going to be 50% off every single day, and a permanent Soul Vessel Series item is guaranteed in the first 10 times draw right now. So make sure you guys join in as fast as you can.
Waiting for you, we're losing our youth.
You're losing your youth?
It's not fair.
I mean, you can grab it back because the Youth Fair is here with incredible bonuses and exciting events. Grab multiple permanent skins for free, just like Sivana's Classroom Charm and its painted skin, Classroom Glam. More exciting events will be revealed, so make sure you guys watch out for that one. Speaking of which, you want to know my opinion, for sure.
I want to know.
I want to give you feedback at this point
me
to
too.
answer some of our questions before you go on a, a sponsor spiel.
With that being said, you guys can give your feedback. Your opinion matters. Scan the QR code for the broadcast feedback survey and let us know your thoughts. What else are we going to improve to make sure that this becomes an amazing grand finals? Are you done? Yeah, I got nothing else. I mean, with that being said,
Answer the question, man.
Answer the question, man.
Answer the question.
SRG or NIP Flash?
Only one team.
All right, SRG or NIP Flash. Both teams are honestly incredible, and both teams should be thankful. Speaking of thankful, thank you to Mirko as well as Wolf for being amazing analysts for today. And we got to check out the Kadia play of the day, and we're going to talk about all the plays of today. So let's check it out. And again, what an amazing day so far. Don't you guys feel like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Not really for a lot of the Liquid Echo fans, but definitely for all the Falcons AP Brent fans. I think, you know what? Even the Liquid Echo fans, they can be happy with some of the plays that they were able to make because, man, Sanford getting the outplay up top in the first game. A lot of the Lings from Kyle Teasies as well. I mean, the Julians coming in from Kyle, Few, so many of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the fans are very happy of the turnout. I kind of envy all the people that is actually part of the crowd. They're very happy. They're feeling energized. We can feel their energy even when we are not inside this stadium or we're in a different room. But yeah, I envy them, man.
Dude, again, like throughout today, it's amazing that it's not as sweet. I really thought it could go the distance.
Same.
But again, this just shows how dominating Falcon AP Brand really is. And like they said, this meta is really helping them out.
Definitely. I think even here, right, being in Saudi Arabia, it's really good for them because not only do they have the Filipino supporters, but they also have the Saudi Arabian supporters too, because me and Wolf, while the game was happening, we saw a lot of the Falcons fans as well in the building supporting with their own jerseys too, which is really, really cool.
It's really, really cool. And of course, the fact that we have seen the battle of the drafters as well, right? It's also a very interesting battle. Obviously, it's easy to say that the Falcons AP Brand have gotten the better end of the deal. But at the same time, if you just look back at how the drafting went, Falcons AP Brand definitely transformed.
With that being said, that's the end of the first day of the semifinals, the third day of the knockout stage at the Mid-Season Cup 2024. My name's Afel. Thank you very much to both Mirko as well as Wolf. You guys did an amazing job. Thank you very much to Gideon as well as Leo for casting amazing matches. Thank you to everyone watching. And for you guys at home, I'm going to give it to you. I think SRG against NIP Flash, the one that wins tomorrow, is